Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep. I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the neighborhood. I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Hello everyone, welcome to our first ever treadmill race. As you can see, we have a Ford GT and our BMW is fighting for second and first place here. They are a little bit stuck, so I may have to move them a little bit. Thank you everyone for popping in. During most of these races, I'm probably going to end up muting myself because as you can see, the walking pad does get pretty loud. I'm still going to have lots of music going. Obviously, our first our first run was a little bit of a crash out. We have tons of Hot Wheels with us today. We're going to be open lots of them. I'm going to be giving you guys some options. We're going to see if we can do some polls. I don't know how to do polls personally, but we're going to try to do some polls. See what people wanna open. Also, it's me, your boy, Jonathan Chinhead. I cannot squat that deep. I got my race day Oreo socks on, and of course the Pop Tart socks as well. Because I assume y'all didn't want to look at my nasty feet. All right, we're gonna get these guys going proper here again. We're gonna do a little reset. All right, here we go. Oh man, the Ford GT getting thrown against the wall here, possibly getting pit. Oh my gosh. All right, we're stuck on the line a little bit. There we go. Oh, and the Ford GT takes it. As we know, the Ford GT is also, at once upon a time, I do believe it got beaten, but it was the holder of the land speed record at one point, clocking it at something over like 300 miles per hour, something absurd. Y'all can fact check me on that because I'm not 100% sure, but welcome everybody to the first ever Fritos Hot Wheel Race Day. Thank you everyone for popping in. I really appreciate it. We're gonna go and hippity hop on over to Suno because YouTube hates me. So we'll get some Suno tones. We'll get some Suno tunes rolling here for our Hot Wheel race. Obviously, the more the merrier. More than likely, I'll give you guys a little introduction here. Here, let me open my stream so I can actually see what I'm doing though. There we go. So, oh god, that's way too loud. Squeeze me. Okay, as we were saying, this guy right here, this is the, thankfully all the Hot Wheels have their identification on the bottom. If you're like me and you struggle knowing what stuff is. But this is the Ford Escort RS 2000. This guy likes pulling to the right, I've noticed. Doesn't get a nice look at him. Very cool, he's got some different wheels there. So go ahead and get him to the starting line. This took a while to set up. I wanted to go live at 6 p.m. today. We had some issues with logistics. We had to fiddle fart with some stuff. We watched some other people who do this on TikTok. And the recurring theme here is that bungee cords are the way to go. We tried to use a wood frame, and that failed spectacularly. I'm gonna sit down. Ugh. Try as I might, I cannot squat that long. Okay, so as we were saying here, we also have the BMW M3 GT2. Nice little custom paint job on this guy. I'll give you guys a quick introduction, and we'll open a new one here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Dark, welcome. Lily over on the YouTube. Love the socks. Thank you so much. I also love the socks. So we'll go ahead and get him on up to the starting line. Also, we got the Ford GT. This is definitely our big contender of the evening, but in our tests, he definitely performed the best. So I think he's definitely going to be giving people a run for their money today. Yeah, this is the 2017 Ford GT. So we'll go ahead and get him lined up at the starting line. This was an off-brand Ford Mustang. He will not be joining the races today because he, for whatever reason, his wheels are kind of low quality because he is a knockoff. The paint job's immaculate though, but the wheels just can't keep up with the treadmill, unfortunately, with the pacing of the other vehicles. They would never get off the starting line. Hi Moon, thank you for the lurk. But yeah, so he'll be on the sidelines today. We're going to go ahead and let him hang out over there. He's just going to be part of our chill squad. We also have, I just opened this guy today, the Lotus Amira. A very, very sleek, glossy paint job there. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, as we also have the T-Top Night Rider. The text is very hard to read on the bottom of this, y'all. It is a little too glossy, if I'm being honest. I literally cannot read it. That's funny, but yeah, we can get a nice view of the T-Top. I thought T-Tops were so cool when I was little, and I was like, yo, Mom, Dad, let's get a T-Top. And they were like, absolutely not. If that thing flips, we are completely dead. So, my dreams of getting a T-Top car as an 8-year-old were unfortunately crushed. Oh yeah, we love the Hot Wheels here. Alright, so, for your guys' pleasure here, I've picked out 3 from our shelf that will be opening to join our 5 racers today. We have the 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302. Very nice red paint job there. I know, I cut all my hair off because it was irritating my eyes. I woke up like scratching my eyes in my sleep, and I was like, alright, I'm done. It's gone. I'm done with it. We also have the 87 Audi Quattro. Very, very nice kind of turquoise glossy paint there. And last but certainly not least is the Nissan Silvia from the Neon Speedsters. But yeah, these are our options. Let me know what you guys think. Who should our 3rd racer of the evening be? I'll just keep those up there for everyone to see. Yeah, we have quite a few that we're going to be unboxing this evening. I've got a really cool one, the blue sedan. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Our blue 2-door sedan. We love it. We love it. Factory fresh. That's what it says on the packaging right there. Factory fresh. I know you can't really see it because our lighting is terrible this evening. I promise it says factory fresh. I swear, on my life. On Jap no COD. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. One thing I've noticed as well, I don't even know where he went. Okay, there he is. Rubber tires, because there are certain series of Hot Wheels that do not have plastic wheels. Some of them actually do have rubber wheels. Rubber does not do good on the treadmill. I'm going to be real with you guys. We will include our Dodge Challenger, our 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon. For anyone that's curious, the regular Dodge Challenger SXT only comes with a 6-cylinder engine. This guy comes with an 8-cylinder. He is an absolute beast. Another really cool fun fact about Dodge, they did a concept car called the Helephant. Sadly, it never made it to market, but that said, the blueprints are still out there. Definitely check them out if you guys get the chance. And we will go ahead and get him all set up there. All right. I gotta get my remote here. I am dual streaming to YouTube. Thank you for asking. All right, next race. We got the Quattro, the Lotus, the RS2000 Knight Rider, Ford GT, BMW, and the Dodge Challenger. Let's see who our winner for this race is going to be, shall we? Yeah, so right out the gate, we have quite the pileup from the Dodge Challenger there. He kind of took a couple cars with him. We have the BMW throwing it in reverse. We love to see that. We're going to go to 2.5 miles per hour now. Oh, thank you for popping on over to YouTube. I appreciate it. The Lotus and the Quattro just killing it in this bout. Oh no, I said too much. The Lotus is struggling to maintain position. Moving over to the RS2000, the BMW. He changed his mind though. He likes that. He prefers that left side, but he is troubling. He is struggling to maintain that pace. Oh man, I'm on the edge of my floor here. The Quattro just unfazed, perfectly balanced vehicle. That's one thing I've noticed when we did our testing. We did everything you can. You guys don't see it, but there are books, there is styrofoam, there is cardboard balancing out. Thank you so much for popping on YouTube, Dark. I really appreciate it. All the watch time I can get. We're still fighting for that monetization, but we are going to get it at our current rate. We are pushing for it currently. So again, the Lotus hanging on by a thread here, but hanging on nonetheless. We are going to put some more stress on these racers, though. We've been going for... I don't even know. Oh, 36 seconds currently, I believe. I could be wrong about that. We are at 3 miles an hour, and the Lotus with a full crash out. We're going to get him out from under there. Oh, the Quattro with a proper spin out there. The RS2000 and the BMW have been such heavy contenders today, but I'm telling you, they are struggling to stay on center here. We centered our treadmill as much as possible. There is, like I said, books, styrofoam, cardboard, maintaining the balance of this treadmill to make sure that they don't really pull one way or the other. But the unfortunate truth is that some of these just aren't weighted evenly. We saw our Quattro maintaining his position beautifully during that last bout. The RS2000 and the BMW starting to lose some ground here. At the rate we're going, the BMW looks like it is going to win, but we're going to increase the speed. We're going to 3.5 miles per hour now, and they are just two heavyweights in this bout. We're getting some pushback here, though, from the RS2000 and the BMW. I almost called it a Beamer. We're going to max our speed. We are at 3.8 miles per hour right now. And these two Hot Wheels, they are just holding their own right now. All right. While we're waiting, we're gonna do a little bit of cleanup. Oh, we got some movement here. They're continuing to gradually push back. This could still go either way, folks. Oh man, they are struggling to find that footing. The RS2000 just desperately trying to get off that wall, but the BMW has just got him pinned there. I'm not really sure where this is gonna go at the moment. Oh my gosh. I think what's gonna happen here, we have some pitting slowly going on. I'm seeing the BMW slowly pushing that RS2000, and the RS2000's giving it back full force. But unfortunately, what might happen here is the RS2000 looks like he wants to pit that BMW, but it does look like there is more weight in the back of that vehicle with that spoiler, and it looks like he's going to have a very hard time moving that weight out of the way there. Oh man, this is exciting. Alright, we're going to give him a little nudge here, just to try to get them off that wall. And the RS2000 takes it. He just loves holding that right side position. And that is all it for this race. We had the BMW in second place, the RS2000 in first, and our Lotus Amira coming in at third. Human interference, I know. Sometimes you need a little human interference, though, because it looked like that was going to go on for a minute, I'm not going to lie. We'll go ahead and give it over to my co-host here, the teddy bear, the Reese's Pieces teddy bear. And thank you so much, Reese's Pieces teddy bear. You are an absolute Giga Chad for weighing in there. We're going to go ahead and look at a new potential racer here. We're heading on over to the shelf here of all my fun goodies and whatnot. We do have a really high quality knockoff. Oh my gosh, what are these guys called? I cannot for the life of me remember. Aston Martin GT8. This was made by Pink Slips. Now, granted, any little miniature diecast cars like these are going to be knockoffs at the end of the day, but when you talk about quality, you cannot beat Pink Slips when it comes to those kind of those knockoff. I hate to call it knockoff because that implies bad, but you guys know what I mean. Like, we have fold-out doors on such a tiny model, and they're solid too. They feel good. They move well, and I love rubber wheels, you guys. And this has not just rubber wheels; it's got treads too. I know you can't really see it, but it is such a nice little piece. It's got a nice weight to it too. It definitely feels a little lighter than our other racers, so we're gonna go ahead and get him involved on this next bout. And we are going to go ahead and let our Dodge Challenger go ahead and be a peg holder. That's what they call it in the online community, the online Hot Wheels collector community. There is a Hot Wheel collectors community, I know, believe it or not. Let's go ahead and get them all setty spaghetti. But they call them peg warmers because you'll get like 20 of the same car when they do their orders at places like Walmart, and there's just a whole bunch of them just stacked up on the shelves. So we've got, I believe, 7 racers this bout. Again, that's going to be the Aston Martin, BMW RS2000, the Knight Rider T-Top, our Audi, our Lotus, and our Ford GT. This could honestly go either way. We're going to give them a little bit of spacing just to kind of give them a little breathing room here. All right, without further delay, let's get into our third bout of the evening. And they are off. These races start at 0.5 miles per hour. We're going to bump it up to 1.5 miles per hour. RS2000 and the Audi, again, just holding their weight. The Knight Rider and the Ford GT are down. Our Aston Martin, impressing me. I did not think he was going to hold this own for this long. Just again, because of those rubber wheels, they seem a little too grippy. Oh, the Lotus putting some serious pressure there. The BMW almost getting hit with a pit maneuver. The Lotus and the Aston Martin and our BMW just fighting for those positions. The RS2000 and the Audi, great machines, clearly. There is something up there with that kind of two-door sedan model. The blue Vet too, I know, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. Oh no, our Lotus getting a little bit stuck there in the crevice. Try as I might, sometimes you just cannot get oh man, we have a huge crash out here. We've got some real human interference. Let's go ahead and we'll take a quick pause on this bout. We're gonna do a little reset here. Our left side guardrail was having some technical difficulties, so we're gonna reset that real quick. There was some serious pressure there, and we also have our RS2000 and Audi kind of having some trouble here in the front, so we're gonna get these guys rolling again. All right, get them off the guardrails. So let's go ahead and hop back into our third bout. And they are off. The BMW having a rough start here. He just couldn't get those wheels turning, but he is holding his own, ever so slightly nudging forward. I think he's still in this race. We have our Lotus, our RS2000, and Audi still against that starting line. They are holding their own. The Aston Martin a little far back from our start line. The Lotus cutting him off there. That was very rude. That was very very Karen energy of them. There's definitely a woman in there with a bob. I'm going to be really real with you guys. All right, we're going up to 2 miles per hour. We're getting a little bit of fishtailing here from the BMW again. This car really has a hard time maintaining that straight posture. We can see that again, too, with our Aston Martin having a very hard time not pulling to that left side of the track there. The Lotus with a beautiful pass on the Aston Martin. Oh, my gosh, we're going to have to get a replay on that. The BMW still struggling to maintain that current pace on the edge of this race. Our RS2000 and Audi just straight chilling up there in the front. The Aston Martin, no problem. We have all these racers kind of stand in their lane with the exception of the RS2000 and the Audi. And again, just so impressed with how Pink Slips can handle this. I'll give you guys a good example again. We're going to use our knockoff here just right down the middle. And you'll see he just struggles. Oh, and he almost took the RS2000 out there. Oh, man. Just constant race interference. This is a dirty driver right here. The BMW on the edge. He likes to live dangerously. And our racers are just straight chilling out here, ladies and gentlemen. That BMW just not able to get it together. Let's up our speed. We're going to 2.6 miles per hour, and the BMW is down. He came in 5th place this race. Let's up to 3 miles an hour. We're seeing a little bit of fishtailing, a little bit of wandering from our Audi. He's chilling, but the Lotus surprisingly not able to keep up. The Lotus is very aerodynamic. That doesn't really matter because they are technically on a stagnant racetrack, but you got to acknowledge it nonetheless. The Lotus is, of course, the Lotus Elise retails. Even a 2011 model can go for upwards of 10. Oh my gosh, we have a huge crash out here. I didn't even notice what was coming. The Lotus yielding to the RS2000. The RS2000 takes the W on our third bout of this evening. I didn't even know what happened. I was too busy flapping my gums. I did not even see it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll mute my mic. Proceeds to just talk over the treadmill the entire time. If it is obnoxiously loud, let me know, you guys. If it is very rough to watch, do please let me know. So, absolute excellent race there. We didn't have a lot of activity around that 2.5 mile per hour mark, but as soon as we hit that 3 miles per hour, it was game over for these racers. We saw our Ashton Martin very briefly hit that side rail a little too hard, and then he had some fishtailing there, completely turned to the right, and he was done for. And our BMW just not able to quite hold that last place. It seems like part of the strategy I'm seeing with this guy, why he's able to still hold his own despite constantly being at the back of the pack, is to hug that guardrail there. Technically this is yarn. One day I would like to upgrade to bungee cables because they do have a little more bounce. Now these guys have a nice bit of give. Fun fact, the way we have this engineered, I don't want to show you guys because I don't want to mess up what we have here. We have these strings tied off to this yarn up here. It goes all the way back, and we have 2 water bottles that are tied off here at the bottom as weights to keep these guardrails nice and tight. Now, if you tighten it too much, you guys can see we constantly have a little bit of stress here, which is why you don't want it too tight. And that's also why I do eventually want to upgrade to bungee cables. That's going to have to be a Home Depot trip, though. Let's go ahead and get into our next race here. All right. So, our new unboxee is going to be the 73 Honda Civic Custom. I'm going to pull all 3 of these guys off the shelf, believe it or not. And that's right, I have 3 Honda Civic Customs. Now, one of these I will not be opening. I just want to show because I love... That's a Ford Escort. That is not a... that is not the car I thought it was. Let's see here. Oh, am I wrong? I must have confused my Ford Escort for being that. Okay, yeah, we have 2 73 Honda Civics. We're still going to add our Ford Escort into this mix. And you guys can see how the honest mistake there, there is a little bit of overlap in those designs. I could have sworn I had 3 Honda Civic Customs, but I guess not. That's okay. We're going to add him into the mix. This is, again, a Ford Escort RS2000. And I'm realizing now that this is the same thing. We have 2 of the same RS2000s. I didn't even know that. But this is a 73 Honda Civic Custom. I picked this guy up at Walmart on my birthday, possibly. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But just such a cool racing design there. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, this guy I cannot open. I would love to, but we can't. You guys can see that tiny little signature there. I got this at a Hot Wheels enthusiast shop out in California, and this signature is from the gentleman who actually did the paint design for the Honda Civic, the 73 Honda Civic Custom, which is really cool. The gentleman at the shop told me, he came right in and he's like, "Hey man, you want me to sign some stuff for you?" And he was like, "Hell yeah." And so I got this bad boy for like 10 bucks. I felt like it was a steal. I think this is so cool. But we're going to go ahead and set him off to the side here. And we will get back to our race day. I would love to see. I'm going to look at our time here. Hey Molly. Oh, ad break in the middle of our ads. I'm going to wait until we hit the 36-minute mark in our stream, and I'm going to give our viewers, we're going to have a 60-second break. I'm going to show you guys our new possible contenders for our 4th bout of the evening. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to them. You got 60 seconds soon here. All right. Actually, we're going to push that to the next minute because I'm realizing I still want to show you guys again. So, again, we have the 73 Honda Civic Custom. You guys can get a nice look at that. Very compact body, I'm noticing. I'm curious how that affects it. We've noticed with the RS2000 and the Audi, again, with that kind of boxy design compared to our much sleeker ones, these boxy ones are just holding their own so well. Hello, Molly. Thank you for popping in. We are racing Hot Wheels today. We have the Ford Escort RS2000 again. This would be our 2nd RS2000 unpacking. Not of this evening, but we would have 2 RS2000s on the track because we, again, already have this nice little red one. We also still have our Nissan Silvia S13 from the Neon Speedster series. I love the Neon Speedster series. Sagoth 2 Coast, I think that's the name of an emote. And our last possible new contender, which if we do not have a pick, I'm probably going to go with him. But again, that is the 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302. Absolutely gorgeous muscle car here. I miss that old model of Ford Mustangs. We keep just getting more and more futuristic ones, and I don't know why. I like the classics. All right, and as of now, we have 1 minute to decide. So at 38:30, we're gonna crack open that Ford Mustang Boss 302, the 69. And this, I didn't even read this. This is a 60-year anniversary, possibly? I don't know. I actually don't know, but it's also part of the Silver Series, which I have no idea what that is. But now you know that it is part of the Silver Series. I don't know why on mobile it won't work. My emotes, they work on my... Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It happens. Again, I do have Pop-Tart socks on. I want that to be known. I know people don't like feet, but people do like Pop-Tarts, so take that as you will. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the commentary over again to the Reese's Pieces Bear. What are you feeling about all this, Reese's Pieces Bear? Thank you, Reese's Pieces Bear. I really appreciate you weighing in again. You have been such a great guest host on race day here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for weighing in there. Anyways, let's see what we got here in chat. So excited. Me too. I didn't see that. Give me a moment. I'm going to exit and come back. I love a Pop-Tart. We do love a Pop-Tart. We got some chats over on the YouTube here. Hi, Lily. Hello, Dark. Indeed, we got 4 people on the YouTube, and we got 7 folks over on the Twitch. According to my iPad, my Streamlabs is saying something else. Who knows? But again, we have, you guys got 20 seconds as of now to pick a new unboxing, and we are going to open our 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302 if we don't have any votes for it. Hello, Loey Stromboli. Slay Girl Boss indeed. Alright, we have... That's our timer, so we're going to go ahead and unbox the Ford Mustang. Let's do it, gang. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Straight money. Go ahead and open this bad boy up here. Just got to get a nice little tear going. Just takes a sec sometimes. And just look at that beauty. Oh my goodness. I am very, very much so trying not to break it as it's coming out. I found a beautiful Pagani Huayra, which is like one of the most expensive supercars in the world. Just check this guy out. But the Pagani Huayra that was at Walmart, I found it and I was like, holy moly, that is so freaking cool. And I looked at the packaging and the wheel was bent. The spoke on the wheel was bent, which made me so sad. I had to put it back after that because I didn't want to pay for a damaged car. Which, why would you? You know, that's why you gotta double check, man. You gotta check your Hot Wheels on Carfax.com. I am not an official sponsor of Carfax.com, but I would love to. Are they even around anymore? I have not seen a Carfax.com ad in probably like 3 years. I am the new proud owner of Carfax.com. I have decided it. Alright, we're letting our racers... Oh, having some trouble there, getting off the wall. Our Knight Rider, surprisingly, having a very rough day. I thought he would be a big contender, but at the end of the day, he still has those rubber wheels, and those can be such a hit or miss with stuff like that. I'm sorry the stream is freezing. It looks okay on my end. It's working on my YouTube and my my Twitch stream. So we got... Alright, we're going to take 10 seconds, you guys, and then we are starting this next Hot Wheel racing bout. This treadmill is a Fumley walking pad. It's actually very heavy. I did not realize how heavy these walking pads are, but they get up to, I'm supposed to start already, but they get up to 3.8 miles per hour, this specific model. That's pretty much the average for these. There are some that will get to 4, but you can pick up one of these guys from Walmart for like $100 and do your own Hot Wheel racing. Easy peasy. All right, without further delay, let's get into our fourth bout of the evening. We are off to the races. All right, we're bumping it up to 1.5 miles per hour. Massive car collision there. Oh my goodness. The Knight Rider, I talked all that smack. He is chilling in the front. The BMW again, taking that same strategy as before, just playing on that wall and actually moving up a little bit. He is doing great there. We're going to go ahead and bump it up to 2 miles an hour. We're going up to 2 miles an hour now. BMW starting to lose some of that ground, really struggling to stay off that left side wall. Oh man, and he is in the danger zone, and the Knight Rider takes the W. Okay, now I think we may have an issue here. Our Knight Rider has a little lip that can get him kind of hooked on there, but it's not hard to get him off. I do think he should be disqualified from this bout on the grounds that he was hooking himself to that front line, however easy it is to get him off of there. So we're going to have to remember that for our next bout. But I want to go ahead and give the victory to our BMW for this race. So a very, very quick bout there. We're going to go ahead and get our racers lined up before our next unboxing. We're going to go ahead and also put the Knight Rider in a second place starting position because, again, I know it's not their fault they're getting stuck on there. That's just a design choice. Unfortunately, until we do get our bungee cord set up, it is not going to work with him getting stuck on the yarn here this evening. And I'm so thankful that we have this yarn as well. This race day would not be possible without the yarn. All right, he is in there. Oh my gosh, he does not want to come out and play anymore. I'm pushing him further in. All right, here we go. We have our last contender for this next bout, our RS 2000. And let's go ahead and get these racers nice and spaced here. And we are going to start bout, I believe this is 5 for this Tuesday evening race day. Let's go ahead and jump on into it, shall we? I'm going to give him a little more time to start. I think we had a big crash there because I kind of bumped the speed up. The Aston Martin just being ruthless here, just going up the corporate ladder and kicking it on the way down to Knight Rider. I don't know if Knight Rider can hold this position. We have our other 5, and they're down. We have our other 5 racers still in it to win it at the front here. And we're going to go ahead and go to 1 mile per hour. That's 1 mile per hour currently. We're seeing a little bit more speed. I mean, need I say more about the BMW? He just has such a hard time staying straight on this track. We're going to 1.5 mile per hour. Oh, man. We're seeing some good, solid, clean racing here. Not a lot going on. The Ford GT and the RS 2000 seeming to want to stay together. The boss Ford Mustang just pulling away from the Audi. Oh, and what a hit. Just not giving him any room to breathe. Slowly pushing him. He's going for a pit maneuver, but he didn't want to push it too hard because a lot of the times when you pit in Hot Wheels racing, you are going to take out the enemy and yourself in the race. So we're going to go ahead and bump it up just slightly. We're going to go to 1.8 miles per hour. And not a lot of change here. Maybe I'm wrong. RS2000 splitting right, and the Ford GT pushing ever so slightly to the left. And the boss, the little bout there with our boss Mustang and the RS2000. But it seems like they've split up now. They're kind of maintaining their spacing nicely. Our BMW just cannot catch a break this evening. That said, he still is such a heavy contender just because of the unpredictability of constantly hugging that left side wall. We're going to bump it up to 2.1 miles per hour. We're going to do smaller jumps this time just to kind of keep things nice and stable. The BMW just not a quitter, but at the end of the day, if you just can't maintain that position, you will not be able to place in that
Did
top
you wash
3.
your ass today?
I have not washed my ass today. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You have caught me with a completely unwashed ass on race day Tuesday 2025. Race day 2025. All right, we're going to go ahead and bump it up a nice little jump here to 2.6 miles per hour. We're seeing a lot of activity here from the Ford GT. He's having kind of a hard time maintaining that middle spacing. He seems like he's in a nice comfy spot though against that left side wall. The Audi just proving that it is a beast in this race series. The Ford Mustang absolutely killing it too. And again, we are just seeing so much action from our Ford GT, from our Audi, from our RS2000 that it is so nice to see a fresh face on this race day. Our Ford Mustang just killing it. We're going to go ahead and go to 3 miles per hour. Not a lot of action here. Oh, the Audi starting to find a spacing. Massive spin out, takes the Ford GT with him. That kind of bumped the guardrails a little bit there. And the RS2000 and the Ford Mustang are just trying to hang out for right now. They're very close together, though. This could get ugly, ladies and gentlemen. And dizzy. We're pumping to 3.4 miles per hour. We are almost at maximum speed with our walking pad here. This is such a brutal bout with just two heavyweights. This new driver on the scene is just hitting the ground running. And in this case, it would be technically driving, but that doesn't matter. We're not here to play semantics. We are here to race. Billy Bob over on the YouTube, the YouTube. How are they not falling off? We have painstakingly angled our treadmill on several layers of books and cardboard and even a little piece of styrofoam here. It took us a lot of work. It took us about an hour and a half to get this set up, but once you got it, you got it. You know what I mean? And we're looking at the average here because, again, you take some certain cars just can't do it. They just can't maintain that spacing. They can't maintain that pace. And you see just right off the back, doesn't even have a chance at running in this competition. We are racing. We are racing. I don't know, guys. This could go either way. These two guys, just two heavyweights here, not willing to quit. We're going to go ahead and max out speed. We are at 3.8 miles per hour now. We're seeing a lot more instability from them, but they are just using that side wall for that spacing. But yeah, it took us a very long time. We tried to use a solid wood frame. The RS2000 getting pit by the boss, and the boss takes it. Our new driver on the scene takes the gold. First place, we had our RS2000. Second place, I don't remember. I think the Ford GT went off first. You guys can check me on that if you don't mind. And again, what a race from our newcomer. He's going to be hard to beat. That is a tough driver right there. This is fascinating. I know, I'm having so much fun. So what gave me this idea, there's plenty of content. I'm not the inventor of this idea. There is plenty of people out there who have done this, but I have yet to see, oh, there's a little piece of styrofoam right there. I have yet to see anyone live stream Hot Wheel racing. I've never seen it. So you guys can correct me, but I scoured Twitch, I scoured YouTube. I have never, unless they're on TikTok or Instagram, I have never seen people doing Hot Wheel racing. So let's get our racer set up here. Again, we're going to start the Knight Rider in a second place position because he's a little cheater. He likes to get stuck on that front starting position. We'll go ahead and give our winner a nice center starting place right there, our Ford GT. Up next, our BMW. And last but certainly not least, our Aston Martin. He has been such a middle-of-the-road racer. Consistency can be key here. So let's go ahead and get him set up, ready to go. What do you guys think, though? Should we crack another Hot Wheel open here? We, again, still have in our current opening rotation, we have the 73 Honda Civic Custom, very boxy body there. We also have our Ford Escort RS2000, such a great pick that we've already seen today. I am very curious if this model drives any differently than the red one. And last, we still have our Nissan Silvia from the Neon Speedster series. Such a cool series. I'm sad I don't own more of these. But we have currently 1 minute as of now. At 52 minutes and 30 seconds, we are going to crack a new one open. I think I'm leaning towards our 73 Honda Civic Custom. I want to see how this very wide, or not wide body, how this very kind of tall compact sedan, two-door sedan, can perform and can compete with these other racers, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to, once again, our guest this evening, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear. What do you think, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear? People are going to watch this mod and be like, this fucking guy is schizo. Thank you so much, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear, for weighing in here. Of course, in the stands, we have our blue narwhal. Just such a fan of Hot Wheels racing. And we have 5 seconds. I'll go ahead and give it... Reese's tells you what's up. I'll go ahead and give you guys an extra 10 seconds because I do want to see if anyone wants to see any of these new racers cracked open today. And the poll is closed. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the 73 Honda Civic Custom. We're going to go ahead and unbox him. So let's see here. Again, just such a nice yellow paint job. I am just so happy with my orange one as well. Such a cool car that we have a signed signature of the artist that does the work on these cars. I don't care if it's just worth $10, $15, $20. I'm going to have that forever. Because you cannot put a price on greatness. We're going to go ahead and get him positioned with the Ford Mustang Boss and the Ford GT, sandwiched between two Ford drivers. There might be a team up here. We don't know. We currently have 3 Ford vehicles on this track. I have tried to split them up because, as we know, brand loyalty is important. So let's go ahead and jump into our 6th bout of the evening, and we are off. Some action right out the gate with our 73 Honda Civic. The Ford GT just doesn't even care. We have the Aston Martin and RS2000 also off the track. Knight Rider in the Boss. Immediate pit action there. Wow. What a disgusting start. No loyalty with each other. All the Ford vehicles are off the track. We have our one Honda already gone. Let's go ahead and up the speed between these two heavyweights again. As much as we have seen, we're going to go to 1 mile an hour. We have seen so many problems with tonight with our BMW constantly hanging on by a literal thread, because this is thread, this is yarn, but just struggling to maintain a position that isn't constantly on that left side wall. We're going to go ahead and up it to 1.5 miles an hour here. We have a little bit of action there from the BMW. He's starting to lose his position a little bit. He's not able to maintain that straight pace, and as we know, once you start going back and forth like that, you're going to start losing some speed there. Very wobbly, very strained action here. But again, we've seen some crazy comebacks with this Audi. Once you hit max speed, they start to struggle. So let's go ahead and get it to 2 miles an hour. The BMW still having some issues here. Really losing a lot of that positioning. And he is out of here. Our winner for this last bout is our Audi. I'll tell you the exact name of that one again. Our 87 Audi Quattro. What a, just, again, beautiful paint job on him. Just such a pretty car. And again, yes, the BMW consistency, but my God, can he just not catch a break. So we're going to go ahead and reset again here for our next bout. I'm going to make a brief executive decision here. This doesn't have to be permanent, but we are going to leave the Knight Rider, our T-Top Knight Rider, out of this next bout. This is not a permanent disqualification. We are simply sticking him off to the side for now. And let's go ahead and get our Audi, our Ford GT, our Mustang. I can't go fast enough to maintain that pace. Our Honda Civic, 73 Honda Civic Custom. I think that's what that is. Let me double check that. Yeah, 73 Honda Civic Custom. And last but certainly not least, such a heavy hitter, just an unpredictable driver tonight. This Aston Martin Vantage. This one, again, is a GT8. It doesn't give me a year on it, but still just a heavy hitter. I just love Pink Slips. They have such high quality vehicles with these little fold out doors. But let's see how our boy can perform this race. We're going to give him a nice middle position here. Make sure everyone's nice and ready for the 7th bout of the evening. Let's jump into it, shall we? So we have a lot of bumping back and forth. The Aston Martin immediately pitting the Audi, and they are already out of there. Really dirty move there. There is clearly some bad blood between Pink Slips and Hot Wheels, and I just, you can't get any more dirty than that. We have some crazy fighting for positions over here by the Ford, the Mustang, under the RS2000, and the Civic. The Civic really, really doing some damage there. The RS2000 getting stuck on the Ford Mustang. We haven't even increased speed here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's any recovering from that. It's possible, though. There could be a recovery here. We're going to go ahead and go to 1 mile an hour. And they are just hanging out on by a thread there. The Honda Civic just absolutely killing it this race. And they are out of here. The BMW just, you cannot get this man off this left side wall. It is just impossible. That is his home. That is where he wants to be. He's not willing to negotiate. And we have the 73 Honda Civic and the Ford GT. We're going to go ahead and up our speed to 1.5 miles an hour for now. Our music has stopped, unfortunately, so as soon as this bout is over, I will be getting it going again. The Ford GT exploring other sides of the track here, wanting to go play on that left side with that BMW. Again, he just cannot maintain pace worth a damn. But again, he is consistent in his performance as long as he doesn't get taken out by any other drivers who clearly just don't like BMWs. I don't know why. There's some real hatred in the air. We're going to go ahead and up our speed to 2 miles an hour now. Some real bad fishtailing there from the BMW. He just uses that wall like such a crutch, and he is gone. Just such a heavy hitter, though, man. Just constantly in third, fourth, second place. We've even seen him take a win tonight. We've seen them take a win tonight. So we're going to go ahead and up our speed to 2.5 miles an hour. Our Ford GT seeing a little bit of action on that left side wall. Our Honda Civic straight chilling over there, not even bothered by the speed increase. We're going to bump it up to 3 miles an hour. Ford GT coming over to potentially fight, and he gets pitted, but they're still in it. The Honda struggling to get off that wall, gets rear-ended by that Ford GT. Well, he rear-ends the Ford GT, but that was clearly a bad actor play right there. So, again, we just two heavy hitters here on the scene. We're going to go ahead and up it to 3.3 miles an hour, 3.4, and just maintaining that pace beautifully. Reese's Pieces Bear, of course, a ex-driver on the scene, a very knowledgeable source. He drove for Pink Slips for a while there, and he has a soft heart for Pink Slips. It's such a shame we've seen such dirty play tonight by Pink Slips, the Aston Martin GT. We are now max speed, 3.8 miles per hour. These two racers are on the edge of this track. I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain this pace. This could genuinely go either way still. The Ford GT, again, he is still maintaining that front position. He is in such a better spot compared to our 73 Honda Civic Custom. Oh, man. Oh, man. They are just not willing to quit. These guys, just two titans clearly in this race. Not able to take any space back, but just unwilling to quit. Alright, we're going to get a little bit of driver interference here. We're just going to give him a little tap on that side there. Oh, and unfortunately, that little bit of interference does seem... We're going to give it some from the front as well. Just impossible to get them off of that wall there. We're going to go ahead and pause this race because I feel bad interfering because clearly the 73 Honda Civic is at a massive disadvantage currently. So we're going to go ahead and stop this race. We are going to give them a middle of the road position here. Again, maintaining that second place with the Honda Civic. I'm going to go ahead and get some music going again for us. Give me 1 second, everybody. How are we liking Hot Wheels racing, though? Am I too chatty? Am I not chatty enough? I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm plenty chatty. I feel like I am more than chatty enough. He is having revelations. I think it was a unanimous decision. We did have a vote between he and I don't know if you guys heard, over just the chaos that is this race. Oh, and we have on the track the Knight Rider all of a sudden. Where did he come from? So again, a bad start for that Honda Civic. He just a clear stall out for him. There was just no saving that. The Knight Rider trying to make his comeback debut and just cannot get it together. So I think after that performance, I think the Knight Rider is officially washed up. We're going to go ahead and add him in the Hall of Legends with our Ford Mustang, our SRT Demon, and our brand new edition. The Ford GT, just such a heavy hitter, such a perfect car design. It's no wonder this car at one point held the land speed record. So we're going to go ahead and reset our racers again. We're going to get a new bout going. This will be, I think, 8. I'm losing track. I don't know if anyone's keeping track. I think everyone's just enjoying the races. Here we go. Make sure everyone's nice and straight. Excuse me, I got a little bit of the sniffles here. Such a strange start for the 73 Honda Civic. We gave him a fair shot. He was killing it during that intense 3.8 miles per hour position fighting for this spot, and just complete stall out there on that last one. I hope we can see a better performance for him this up and coming race. I think all racers are on the track. I don't think we're missing anybody. I can double check real quick though. Sometimes they like to get stuck down in that crevice. We have been excommunicadoed of our Lotus Emira. How could we forget the Lotus Emira? He has been under there for probably 5 or 6 races at this point, possibly 5. I'm not entirely sure. Let's go ahead and get him back in the rotation here. And without further delay, we're going to start about 7 or 8. I genuinely have no clue which one we're on now. Let's get into it. Aston Martin with a very slow start. A lot of fighting for positions here. The Aston Martin has unfortunately crashed out. We're going to up that to 1 mile an hour now. A beautiful start to this race. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh my goodness. They are still hanging on for dear life. We have 2 pitted cars. The Civic down. The Mustang down. The Ford GT in a brutal pit position here with the BMW. As we know, that BMW favors pushing that left side, so that is why we are in a constant fight for that position. I'm seeing, oh man, and he goes down, taking 5th place along with the Ford GT, finishing in 4th. Just such an ugly bout there. We're going to go ahead and up it to 1.6. We're seeing a little bit of instability from our Lotus Emira. I know, poor Aston Martin just cannot get it together. If we see more bad performances like that, he might need to be retired. He might not be cut out for this race. And again, that's not at the Aston Martin's fault. That is just those rubber tires just are not built for the friction of this track. Maybe one day we could smooth out this track. This is our first run of Tuesday race night Hot Wheels. We're going to go ahead and increase that speed to 2.1. That's 2.1 miles an hour now. The Lotus, again, just falling back out of that position, and we are out of here. Our Audi and our RS2000 just unwilling to quit, unwilling to compromise. We're going to go ahead and bump it up to 2.5 miles per hour. And just not a lot of change here. Just such stable builds on these cars. Such a steady hand for these 2 drivers. Going to go ahead and bump up to 2.8 miles per hour. Just such steady hands there. Such perfect design for these 2. A little bit of fishtailing, a little instability. It's kind of hard to see, but we do have a little bit of wobble there. We're going to up it to 3.4 miles per hour. Oh my gosh, such dirty play by the Audi. Forces himself out. And the RS2000 pushes him right off the track. The RS2000 takes the gold for this bout. What a turn of events. Holy moly. That was crazy. Oh man, you know, you just can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Such a consistent driver, and just as soon as there was trouble, kept their cool and absolutely killed it on that bout. We're going to let the Aston Martin have one more redemption. If we see just such a quick crash out again, he might need to go to the loser's box. Now, as the loser's box does continue to build, I do eventually want to have the king of the losers bout. That's what we're going to call it. It'll be the king of the losers bout. So let's go ahead and get our racers set up here. Hopefully we see a better performance from our Aston Martin, because they are in trouble this race. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to just acknowledge the fact that sometimes the races just don't go your way, and that's okay. Because you know what? You cannot win them all. You just can't. Go ahead and grab our Ford GT, and our racers are all set. Make sure they're nice and straightened out there, so they all have a fair, equal opportunity to have a nice, clean race. We already know that's not going to happen. These drivers are just such dirty fighters. They just do not care. So without further delay, about 8 or 9, I don't know which one we're on anymore. Starting off at 0.5, we're going to immediately put pressure on these guys. The Aston Martin, again, just such a dirty player. We have nice positioning here, though, on that right side between the BMW. He's going over to that left side. That's where he likes to be. Oh, and it was just too far of a drive. He just could not hold it. 5 racers still in this bout at 1.2 miles per hour. We have a nice little fight for position up here, kind of in that middle to left side spot. The Ford Mustang and the 73 Civic really utilizing that right side to their advantage. We're going to go ahead and up that speed to 1.5 miles per hour. If anyone has any recommendations for camera angles, let me know. We can move it back. We can move it away. Legit, cannot be beat. Cannot be beat. You're very right for that, Molly. We're going to go to 2 miles per hour. We're going to start seeing some instability here. Our 3 heavyweight champions up in the front there, just like not willing to compromise, not willing to give up. We've seen real stability from that Audi tonight. Oh, and we have, oh my gosh, what a crash out. I haven't seen that kind of a crash out in a long time. 24 hours to be precise. All right. Let's go ahead and get our racers back on the track here. Making sure our Lotus is present, because they clearly have a little bit of stage fright going on. I'm just making sure that we are still all steady spaghetti. I'm going to take a quick peek under there, make sure we're not missing any racers. So that might have been my personal breaking point for our Aston Martin. Go red car! I know. Dude, the red cars cannot be beat tonight. Team Red is becoming a franchise, and I'm kind of here for it. And again, both of our red drivers, both Fords, the Fords cannot be beaten. We have just seen such solid plays from them tonight. So Matt, I'm glad you're here, because I would love to give you the opportunity. And again, we're going to go ahead and retire that Aston Martin. It's not their fault. Rubber tires just are not built for such a coarse track. So we're going to go ahead and add him to that loser box there. I think if we get to like maybe 5 or 6 losers, I will probably have the king of the losers race. Maybe even a redemption arc for the king of the losers. We might let them back in on one of the normal bouts between all of these heavyweights. I don't think we're missing anybody. Fairly certain. That Lotus has been having a hard time tonight, though, and it's not entirely their fault. They have not had a fair shake this entire evening due to them having a little bit of stage fright, but we're going to help them. We're going to support our Lotus Amira. We're going to make them feel comfortable. Goodbye, Aston Martin. I know. I'm sad to see him go too, but if you can't compete, you just can't compete. Okay, I'm making sure there's nothing under here. I'm wondering, is there something I could put there to stop that? Maybe we could just put one of these guys there to kind of maybe catch because when they get down that crevice, I just kind of forget about them. I really do. I genuinely forget about them. I think all vehicles are present. We're gonna go ahead and grab a new Hot Wheel here. We're gonna get some new blood on the track. For your consideration, we have the DMC DeLorean. That's right, from Back to the Future. Not that exact model, but it is a DeLorean nonetheless, not to be confused with the Mandalorian. Box sponsored by Totino's Pizza Rolls. Totino's, when you're out of all other options. Listen, the air fryer can fix anything. So we are currently at stream time, 1 minute and 12 seconds. We're going to go ahead and start the voting in a few seconds here. I don't know exactly when, because we do have to introduce our new drivers for them to have that fair chance. So we have, again, that is the DMC DeLorean. Very nice dark paint job there. We have our second Ford Escort RS2000 in green. Still a Ford, but he might get bullied by that red car division, because we clearly have some team driving here. And last, we still have our Neon Speedster Nissan Silvia S13. We will have a full minute to decide. Again, I'm going to show you guys this one more time. If you don't know what the car names are, that's perfectly okay. We have the black one, the green one, and the blue one. Whichever one you are feeling, just call it out. Just let me know. Our voting time starts now. We have a full minute, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my long-term cohort, potential lover, and confidant, Reese's Pieces Bear. Take it away, Reese's Pieces Bear. Never said no to neon. Okay, so we gotta vote for the neon. Okay, I like it. Guys, I haven't been fucking the Reese's Pieces Bear, I swear. Gross. He came in a peanut butter, like a giant Reese's peanut butter cup, like a big mug. And it had like 5 little Reese's Pieces in there. We went to Walmart a few days ago, we went there like 1 or 2 days ago. And we found him, and we got some like super cheap little boxes of chocolate because it is on sale the day after Valentine's Day. So we're thinking the Nissan Silvia, huh? We're going with the neon. Yeah, he's a little guy. Definitely sleeping with the broadcaster. This broadcast brought to you by FarmersOnly.com. You do not have to be lonely at FarmersOnly.com. Because you know what? City folk just don't get it. So we're going to go with Matt's recommendation. I believe, yep, our polling is closed. So we're going to go, that's with the Nissan Silvia S13 from that Neon Speedsters collection. This is very exciting. This might be my only Neon Speedster. I might have one more over there. But let's go ahead and crack this guy open. And we'll get him rolling with the competition. We're just going to go ahead and say this next one's about 10. I genuinely don't know which one we're on. But unlike our other drivers, just such a beautiful finish. Just such a beautiful car. I know you guys can't see it. I'm over here marveling at it myself. I'm like, I can see it before you guys do. Just everything about it is just pure perfection. I'm excited to see how our Nissan Silvia, we have such a beautiful matte paint there with the dragon on the blade, the dragon on the side of that. Just look at that absolute beauty, those nice little purple wheels. I know my webcam sucks. Hopefully I can get a new one soon, but the nice little racing stripe on the hood there. Just, I love that matte finish. This is our first matte finish of the evening. This might be mildly one too, but we're gonna go ahead and get our Nissan Silvia. Am I saying that right still? Yeah, okay. Making sure my dyslexia is not making me mispronounce words. So we got just such a beautiful lineup here. I'm letting the 2 red cars play together because there's clearly some team play going on there, and we're gonna lean into that because we love drama, don't we? Why is LMFAO censored? Can someone uncensor LMFAO? That's genuinely funny. Why is LMFAO? That's ridiculous. That's that. Whatever. Okay, about 10. Let's get it. So we're gonna immediately bump that speed up to 1.1 mile an hour. We have a nasty pit maneuver there by the 73 Honda Civic, just taking down 3 drivers all at once. Very exciting to see our Nissan Silvia holding their own like that. A real lot of fighting there. He is stuck on a pit maneuver though on that Ford Mustang. The GT not even bothered, bounces off that front part and immediately goes back for more. It's like a trampoline for him. He's not even phased. We have our 4 drivers in the rear here. It is mutually assured destruction back here. No one can break free from this bout. We're going to go ahead and up that speed to 1.3 miles per hour just because we have so much unsurety back here. Oh man, I'm on the edge of my seat, you guys. That Audi trying to push forward there cannot get to the left to get around that Ford Mustang. We're going to go ahead and up our speed to 1.6. We're seeing a little bit more trouble keeping that going. I can only imagine the stress of being in a drifting position like that for so long. Now, fun fact, with Hot Wheels, there are actually kits. There are kits you can buy to swap the wheels out, which I think is so cool. So one day, maybe our loser box could be swapped out with some new fresh wheels and be able to get back into such an awesome competition between all these racers. We're going to up it to 2 miles an hour now. Massive amounts of speed here. A lot of instability, a lot of weight on that right guardrail there. We are slowly inching and inching and inching closer to that back. Amazing that our Lotus is keeping their own here. Maybe they just had a bad couple of bouts because there is nothing pinning him. There are no cars forcing him to stay in this race. The Ford GT kind of floating around, enjoying his Sunday drive, and we see the Audi and the Lotus go down. Again, that's Silva and that Mustang, just 2 heavyweight champions. This new guy on the block, unfortunately, cannot bring it back, so our win goes to the Ford GT for race number 10. Stay in there, Red. Come on, Ram. Mortgage on the race. But yeah, you just, when you have such a perfect design, you cannot compete with one of the previous holders of the land speed record. I'm going to check the actual speed of that Ford GT. How high did it get when it broke that record? The Ford GT clocked in at 310.8 miles per hour. Scale that down to Hot Wheel racing. That is 3.1 miles per hour that he can easily maintain. That is why we have seen such stability this evening from our Ford GT. You just cannot mess with perfection. We're going to go ahead and do a reset here. Get all these wonderful racers back on the track. I am very happy to see our Lotus's redemption arc. Maybe they just needed to get them wheels spinning a little bit. Sometimes practice makes perfect, you guys. Our BMW back on the block. Our Civic. Our Audi. See, who needs Wreckfest when you have Hot Wheel treadmill racing? If you guys would like me to try any different camera angles, let me know. I'm going to actually go ahead and make a quick change here on the fly to our lighting. I'm realizing it's kind of hard to see just how wonderful these racers look. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of our streaming lights here, and we're going to get them set up so you can truly see the magnificence that is these racers this evening. And that is such better lighting conditions. Try as we might, our overhead lighting is only so good. Oh, excuse me. So we'll double check for any racers stuck in the pit. I believe we are good to go for about 11 for our Tuesday race extravaganza. And they are off. The Nissan Silvia struggling to get going, but immediately gets his feet under him. What a rough start to this race. The BMW and the Ford immediately out. They locked and they just couldn't break out of each other. The 73 Honda falling back to the Nissan Silvia, but the Nissan Silvia is just such a stable, heavy hitter that you just can't mess with it. Now, it does appear we have a bit of an issue with our Audi. He is currently stuck on the guard railing. We're going to get him rolling again. We'll have to watch that a little more. There may have been some cheating going on there. It's all water under the bridge, though. It happens. Let's go ahead and up our speed. We're going to bump it very hard to 1.7. Again, that Lotus, just such a comeback. They are holding their own so well. It was so unfortunate to see our red car, our Ford GT boss, eliminated just so quickly. What in the fuck is going on with our sensoring? We need to get that under control, B, if you can do that. So, not a lot of changes here. We're seeing a little bit of unsteadiness, but the only reason that 73 Honda Civic is still in this race is because of the Nissan Silvia. You just can't beat it. We're going to go to 2.1 miles per hour, 2.2, 2.3. Oh yeah, that lighting is definitely better. You can see that color pop on that Audi. It is just such a dark color that the yellow light cannot make it pop the way that it deserves to pop. Oh, and we got some serious foul play there from the Ford GT and the RS2, and the the 73 Civic and the Lotus, bless you, are down. They are down. Such a crazy bit of action there. No one saw that coming from the Ford GT. Such dirty play from him in the RS2000, just eliminating drivers like it's nothing. Again, our Audi just cannot be beat. We're going to go to 2.7 miles per hour now. By Shid's Grocery. Welcome to Shid's, a proud sponsor of the Shid's Foundation. 3 miles per hour. The Ford GT trying to put pressure, trying to break them off that guardrail, pushing them so hard to the limit here. The Audi struggling to maintain that stability, that pace. We're seeing a lot of movement left to right here. They are losing. They are struggling to maintain that position there for a moment. Every bounce off that guardrail, the recovery gets harder and harder. And as they are going to, again, push it, they're going to get knocked back more and more and more. Except that time, apparently. I'll go fuck myself. That's fine. All right, we've got some nice stability. They are all playing to that right side, maintaining that position, maintaining that stability. We're going to put the heat on them. We're going to go to 3.4 miles per hour now. Why is this so goddamn fun?
Did you wash your ass today?
I am very disappointed to tell you I have an unwashed ass. I can oh my god. And the RS2000 and the Ford GT out by foul play, getting stuck on that guardrail. A proper crash out for this Tuesday racing period. And I actually lied to you. I bathed at 2 a.m. this morning. I do have a washed ass, so don't at me, bro. Alright, again, that Silvia just hitting the ground running, hitting the ground, just wants to make a name for themselves. They know they have such a beautiful car on that track, and they are living up to expectations and then some. We're going to go ahead and max out our speed. Maximum pressure on these drivers, 3.8 miles per hour. We're seeing some wobbles from both drivers. This could get ugly soon. That Silvia is at a massive disadvantage because, again, we are maybe 5.5 inches from the edge of that track. The Audi just straight chilling in the front. Not a lot of action here. We are very steadily maintaining our pacing.
If you walk in that door,
Ricky Bobby would be proud. As they say, shake and bake.
And you tell me
Three very important words for any racer in these United States.
Some beautiful, articulate sons who are talented and star athletes, and they have their legs taken away. I mean, I pray you know that pain and that hurt. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky
Action up
Bobby.
there.
Don't you put
that on us. Just unable to shake the nerves of steel of these two drivers. We're going to go ahead and do a reset just to let them have a breather. What a brutal, brutal bout for bout 12 here. We're going to go ahead and get them all set up again here. Give them some nice spacing. Make sure they're nice and straightened out. We don't want anyone to have an unfair advantage here. And let's start bout 12 again to see which one of these heavyweights can bring home the gold. Make it past the sniff check. That's not fair. That's not fair. And again, that Nissan Silvia wanting to play on that right side. You cannot get him off that right side, no matter what you do. He will always want to go there. We're going to go ahead and up the pressure on them early. We're going to go 2 miles per hour. We're going to immediately just put that hurt on both of them. 3 miles an hour right now. That Audi struggling to find a little stability. The Silvia getting pushed back, trying to hug that guardrail no matter what, and it just might not be enough. We're getting a little bit of back and forth here from the Audi. We may have some troubles. Here, I'm going to let these guys run it for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and mute my microphone so you guys can enjoy this race some more. We are at 3.8. The Audi is floating a little bit here. Oh, that's dangerous. We had a massive push to the right from the Audi. Just again, that Silvia is so good at hugging that wall. The Audi just cannot find a good spot to hang out in here. But again, just able to push up at such a moment's notice. It's genuinely impressive. The Silvia starting to lose a little bit of ground here. The Audi hugging that left side all of a sudden. I don't know if we're going to get a conclusion to this one, guys. This might be a draw. This really might be a draw. We're going to give it a minute. We're going to give them a full minute starting now. At 1 hour 30 minutes and 10 seconds, we will decide a winner between these two amazing drivers. And whoever holds that higher position, they are taking home the gold for bout 12. Let's see what they got. Four, three, two, and one. Our winner for this bout, such a close race, is the Audi Quattro. I couldn't remember the name of it. I figured it out though. Wow, I'm just such an impressive bout there. Two amazing racers. You are correct. They are in middle school currently. Important to note, the driver of the Audi is the only racer with a middle school diploma in this race. Oh, okay, I thought they were trying to get their middle school diploma. I will redeem that hydrate really quickly. Man, what a race that was. Oh my gosh, I'm at a loss for words. Just no quit on either side of that aisle. So let's go ahead and get ourselves reset again here. We'll go ahead and get our Ford GT, our RS2000, the Mustang, all of our awesome racers this evening. Matt, again, rooting for the red car. He is a red car fiend. Get our Civic back on the track. Our BMW. I'm going to go ahead and place our BMW alongside this RS2000 and the Sylvia. Both of these racers really want to go play on that right side. I think it would be interesting with this spacing to see how this would pan out with a left driving car compared to two right driving cars. I think we'll see some interesting results from that. And last but not least, we will get our Lotus Emira all set up on the track. This is Diet Coke count. Alrighty, just making sure I didn't miss nothing. We have 7 folks over on the YouTube. Thank you guys for watching me. And 8 folks over on the Twitch. You guys, thank you so much for the turnout. This is so special. This has been like weeks in the making that we have been trying to figure out how we would execute this, how we would make this happen, the logistics, all of it. And this is so exciting. We've made history. This is the first ever Twitch stream of live Hot Wheels racing. We're going to go ahead and get into bout 13, the unlucky number. We might see some really dirty crash outs here. Oh, let's get into it. We're going to start them off nice and slow, get some nice stability, and such a rough start. The Nissan Silvia with a full stall out. That was so unfortunate. That's just bad luck. You know, sometimes the cars just don't want to start. We will go ahead and bump our speed to 1 mile an hour. Give these racers a little bit of a chance to find their footing. The 73 Honda kind of having trouble maintaining their pace here. We're going to up it to 1.5 miles per hour. A little bit of a push there from the Mustang on the RS2000. There might be some jaded love happening there. The Ford Mustang finding a very comfy spot between the Civic and the Emira, followed by the Ford RS2000. The Ford GT and the Quattro very comfortable in each other's space, no concept of personal space whatsoever. They're having a meeting about how they're going to win this race together. We're going to bump it to 2 miles an hour. We're seeing a little bit of left play. That's uncommon for that RS2000. The BMW, again, just struggling. Once we hit that wait, what are we at, 2 miles per hour? That 2 miles per hour mark, the BMW kind of just can't keep it. The Lotus with another brutal end to that race. Sometimes you just can't maintain pace. The Honda Civic hanging on by a thread here, quite literally hanging on to the side of that thread. We are going to go to 2.5 miles per hour. That's right, 2.5 miles per hour. A little bit of a push here from that Audi. He wanted to get that Ford GT off of his tail. A lot of floating from him. RS2000, a little bit of pushback here on that Ford Mustang. This might be a power play for them. He looks like he wants to go for some kind of play here. Hanging out on that wall with that Ford Mustang. It seems like he's really just wanting to maintain pace with him. He could be working his way back again to that 73 Honda Civic Custom. We're going to go ahead and up our speed to 3 miles per hour. We are burning some rubber this evening. The Quattro checking out that left side. The RS2000 just not able to keep, and the Ford GT with a proper spin out. What a brutal end to bout 13 for them. The Quattro, as usual, just killing it. Our 3 racers over here, the Civic and our 2 red cars, just struggling to maintain that position. Only hanging out, only reason they're still on this track is because of that yarn keeping them in it. We're going to bump our speed to 3.5 miles per hour. We are ramping up the heat here on Tuesday, 2025 race day. I hope everyone here had a nice Valentine's Day. The red cars are a great example of Valentine's Day, of course, and they are clearly each other's Valentines. They are really just having a proper menage a trois over here on that right side. The Audi exploring all possibilities of the track here, pushing backwards. Oh no, are we having some technical difficulties with the Audi? They have been pushing it so hard tonight, trying to make up some of that space again here. Just really loving to bounce off that front spot, and that really throws a lot of that forward momentum off. going to go ahead and put the maximum stress here. We're going to 3.8 miles per hour. Our Audi Quattro is the unpredictability. He is the wild card of this race. Oh, he's pushing it. He is 4 inches from that backside, trying to maintain that middle position. The 73 Honda Civic Custom and the 2000 and the Ford Mustang just massively in love. The Quattro going for a pushback play there. That could have been really, really bad, really, really bad for those 3 cars over there trying to finish this race out before they themselves are eliminated. Again, playing on that right side, a lot of back and forth here, trying to get a footing, putting some pressure. The Boss and the Quattro are out of this race. The RS2000 and Honda Civic are competing now for that first and second place spot. It could still be anyone's race here. We are at maximum speed, so if we don't see any real play here, we may have to reset these drivers at the front, and that can be dangerous. We have seen stallouts from that Civic this evening. There could be problems there for them. Go Red. I am so sorry that one of the red cars has been eliminated this evening, Bartholomew. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of tweaking here. We're going to adjust that guardrail a little bit. We're going to move him off to the side. Not much of a change, though. I don't think positioning really mattered too much there. We may need to tighten up that guardrail to put some more pressure on these 2 racers so they're not quite so dependent on it. But just what 2 heavy hitters. Can't tighten it too much, though, because, again, there is a lot of friction on that yarn. We don't want to snap it and have any catastrophic failures this evening on Tuesday, 2025 race day. Give yellow a little break? Okay, yeah. We have a bit of a stall out here. There's not a lot of action. There's not a lot of positioning here. We just have a bit of an endurance contest, and as we know, it is possible for this treadmill to break before these 2 racers do, as they are just unwilling to compromise. They're unwilling to quit no matter the cost. We did lube this treadmill up, I will say, so we are taking good care of it. This came with some nice silicone lube. Do not drink it. That was very, very specific on the packaging. I know I'm disappointed too. I was really excited to drink the silicone lubricant, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, let's get back into this bout between these 2 awesome drivers. Was not expecting to see this action tonight from the 73 Honda Civic after that last stall out. We're going to bump it to 1.4. Sometimes those wheels, they're not ready to turn. The 73 Honda Civic Custom struggling to maintain that pace, and that is a huge crash out. Congratulations to Matt and the red car, the RS2000 Ford. What a race. So, it's time to get some new blood on the scene. It's time. So, we're going to add 2 new vehicles into the beginner roster. So, let's grab... Victoria titties! We're going to grab 2 new vehicles to potentially deploy onto this racetrack. How is everybody feeling? How are we all doing? 2025, Tuesday race day. So, our new racers on the scene. I'm going to go ahead and restart my Suno music, as I'm sure my playlist is about to run out. Can you guys hear me over the music good? Is my audio balancing good over there, B? Oh, heard. We'll turn down the music just a little bit, just to make sure that we are not... Sir, yes, sir. Yeah, you can see your kid. Absolutely, 100%. We can see our kids, Bartholomew. So, very exciting to get the Nissan Silvia on the scene. We saw an incredible tight race. I mean, we're talking less than an inch here between that Quattro and the Silvia. Again, just to recap here, we had to do a full reset for the Quattro and the Silvia. This is how close we were talking here, ladies and gentlemen. Just such a tight race. So, gross. So, the RS2000, again, the winner of that bout. We're going to take a sec. Part of the reason I like to have little breaks in between these races is to give our treadmill a little break. Because, again, this is like an $80 walking pad from Walmart. We don't want to push it hard, especially on our first race day. I did keep the receipt. Good night, Kai. Thank you so much for the lurk. I really appreciate you. So, for our new roster, and again, thank you everybody for tuning in to Race Day 2025 Tuesday. 100 years. 100 years Race Day. Yeah, I'm probably a little stinky. So, we have again our Ford Escort RS2000. This could be a real potential competitor to our red Ford Escort RS2000. We also have the DMC DeLorean wanting to make their big break onto the scene. The DeLorean, of course, having been featured in the Back to the Future movies, which I had a chance to watch on a plane, but I didn't have headphones, and so I watched it, and I didn't know what they were saying, and I was making it up in my head. And so I made it to where Back to the Future is a very dirty movie. So these two guys I picked up again at that store in California. This Koenigsegg Gemera was $6 and the Nissan Leaf was $4. As we all know, fuel-efficient cars are going to be cheaper in the market these days. But we have our Nissan Leaf. Just look at the rims on that. Just such a beautiful red highlights on that guy. And our last new, again, that is the yellow Koenigsegg Gemera. Could be a very heavy hitter. We're really getting into that, again, sleek design territory. It's a little bit taller than our Ford GT. You can kind of see that there. It's not by much, but it is slightly... Actually, no. No, they might be the same height. I think the Koenigsegg, we're talking centimeters here. So I don't think it does make much of a difference. Again, aerodynamic doesn't matter here. But yeah, so we have our voting opening. Now we have 1 minute. Again, that is the RS2000, the green car, the DMC DeLorean, the blue, the Nissan Leaf, or the white car, and last but not least, the Koenigsegg Gemera, the yellow. I'm going to hold all these guys up for you so you can get a chance to have your favorite car from this lineup opened. A Hot Wheels game for PC back in the day, that was so good. There's a lot. So if you look up Hot Wheels, because again, that was me fact-checking that there has never been a Twitch live stream for Hot Wheels racing. Yeah, there's like quite a few. We want the Nissan. Okay. Oh, you used to own a Nissan, so you do. Okay, yeah. So the Nissan. So we got one vote for the Nissan. We have. We're over the time limit, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys 15 more seconds to get your votes in, because I know there is a little bit of a stream delay sometimes over on YouTube. Give everybody a chance to do their vote here. All right. I'm gonna give you guys 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. My arm's getting tired. Gotta put your votes in. Alright, we have one vote for green, a vote for Tori, and a vote for Matt. Do we have a tiebreaker for green or white car? Again, these are our options for our next bout number 14. You can do green? You get the last one? Yeah, for the next one, we will queue up the Nissan Leaf. We'll get some nice fuel-efficient vehicle in there. So we're going to go ahead and crack open our Ford Escort RS2000. Our red Ford Escort RS2000 is going to have some real... Oh, look at that clean brake. That is... I mean, that is just chef's kiss right there, ladies and gentlemen. So again, these two drivers are the exact same model. They were cousins separated at birth, and now they compete for bout 14 for the championship title. So let's go ahead and get our racers to the starting line. Again, just look at that Nissan Silvia. Just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful car. Go ahead and get our BMW. I like to start our BMW kind of off to that right side because, again, they really favor this left side wall, and I want to try to get them to do a little more action throughout the race. Now, if it gets bad enough, we may have to retire the BMW because they are a dirty racer. They will throw the race for other drivers, and we don't like that just so they can be on that left side. Eventually, that strategy does start to interfere to a point where I would consider foul play and bad actors. Alright, so we have our Honda Civic. We have our Ford Mustang. There we go. I think that's everybody. Let me double check here. We got the... Oh, we're missing the Ford GT. We're missing the big cheese. We are starting to run out of space. We are going to start seeing some second position starting places. Now, we will not start the same vehicle in the second place. I might do some consistently decent drivers like maybe the Quattro or the Ford GT in those second starting positions, because we do want to have a fair race. Some drivers just don't start good. Now, I have high hopes for finding the remote because I have lost it. There it is. It was hiding next to my sock. So many, just all this viscera, all this trash from all these new vehicles getting to break out into the treadmill Hot Wheel Racing League. Ligma. Keep an eye on our chats here. Alright, without further delay, bout number 14. Let's get into it. Some real foul play again from that BMW. Not anything too severe. The Sylvia struggling to maintain position. He might be in trouble here. That 73 Civic not able to untangle. They were going to bump up to 1 mile an hour, and they both crash out. Brutal. So we got a nice little bit of stability. Some clean racing. That new RS 2000 performing amazing despite this being their first race, because sometimes those wheels just aren't broken in. They struggle to get rolling. The Quattro harassing the Lotus up there, trying to throw them, trying to get under their skin, but the Lotus just is not having it this race. They are finally getting their feet, their wheels under them. Oh, and the Ford GT, the Lotus, and the Quattro all down simultaneously. That is insane play right there. Again, the RS2000 and the Ford Mustang, they're buddies. They're going to hang on to each other for stability. The green RS2000, a much more stable vehicle. The red one we've seen pulling to the right quite a bit tonight. And so we're going to go ahead and up that speed to 2 miles an hour. We're going to start stress testing these vehicles. The BMW, of course, usually has to crash out at this point because they just can't maintain. They are on the line there. They just cannot maintain any kind of significant speed. Now, that vehicle is lighter. I do think that weight does factor in to these races a little bit. Because as we've seen, the Ford GT, such a solid vehicle there, constantly able to maintain that pace. The RS2000 with a beautiful pin against him on the wall, keeping that Ford Mustang into the fight. We have some back and forth here with that RS2000. We're going to up the speed here. We're going to go 2.5 miles an hour, 2.6. The BMW, unfortunately, having to tap out there. I'm going to go ahead and get him out from under that. Or I'm just going to get him more stuck. It's fine. Oh, and the two red cars pinned our brand new RS2000. Not even 2.6 miles an hour. Takes the gold. I can't believe that. Our new green car on the scene. What a pick. What a pick. We're going to reset. We're going to see if they're a one-hit wonder or not. Go ahead and get our boys onto that track. The Ford GT just having a rough go of it this evening. They started off so strong when they were one of the few cars on the track, but again, you just have so many little elements of surprise, of uncertainty, so much chaos that can happen in the Hot Wheels treadmill racing scene that sometimes it doesn't matter how perfect your car is, how good of a driver you are, how much Cheetos you've eaten that day, you just can't bring it back from the brink. And I'm also wearing my Speed Society shirt today. They are a car giveaway company, believe it or not. And obviously I didn't win the car, but this shirt is so nice. I'm not promoting their shirts, that's why I'm not showing it to you guys. But I'm a big boy and I need long shirts. So again, those like car company like giveaway guys, like they make some really nice shirts. Like way nicer than any giveaway company has any right to, if I'm being completely honest. I'm sad our BMW is struggling so much tonight. I still don't want to excommunicate them because they have had a lot of racing potential this evening, but we have seen so many newcomers coming on to this track that are just such heavy hitters. You can't compete with them. And as soon as that 2 mile mark comes, if the BMW is not somehow able to maintain pace one way or the other, they're done. But I think because of their consistency and their ability to drive with a plan every time, I do want to keep them in on the races. I like starting them from the far right because it adds that stability, that togetherness of those cars constantly at odds with each other. So we have all of our vehicles on the track. We're going to go ahead and start bout number 15. 15, of course, a multiple of 5 and 3. A nice start to the race. Oh, a massive car pileup. We just saw almost all of our vehicles 86 from the track. We have only the Ford Mustang and the BMW still in competition here. We're going to up the heat on them quite a bit, 1.5 miles per hour. The BMW in a very, very dangerous position for the Ford Mustang, because if he does get himself into a pit, he will pull that Ford Mustang down with him when they get stuck, and that will technically give our BMW a win. Again, starting from that right side, they can get just such a huge advantage sometimes. They really know what they're doing. They have a plan and they stick with it. We're going to 2.1 miles per hour. I'm going to drink water. The Ford Mustang pulling away, and again, we see the BMW struggles. They just landed upright. That's really funny. We're going to go ahead and stop that race because the red Ford Mustang Boss 69 edition is the winner for bout 15. What a champion. Just such a brutal end to that last race for so many of these racers. I absolutely love that the BMW landed like that. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Such a brutal end to that race. We're going to go ahead and get some new blood on the track. We're getting in a new driver here. Hell yeah! Red on red crime. You're not wrong. Gotta send it out to pasture. You're right. You are not wrong, good sir. So, true to our word, I like to do 2 races after one unboxing. We're going to go ahead and get that Nissan Leaf, I believe it is an electric vehicle, onto the scene. We're going to have our first environmentally friendly car on the scene. That's going to be huge brownie points with the fans. What do you think about the electric vehicles, Mr. Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear? Take it away. Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear, thank you for weighing in, right as always. The fact of the matter is that the electric vehicle does have a lot to prove. They're not necessarily at a disadvantage. They just need to prove themselves, as they are not only a newcomer to this environment, but they are here because they want to win. They want to prove that you don't need a gas-powered vehicle to compete with the Audi Quattro, with the RS2000. That you can still hold your own. God knows where the fucking Ford GT went. I genuinely don't know. It might have gone under the treadmill again. Yep, there he is. Okay. And we have a proper full lineup there. Every car here is wheel to wheel. This could get ugly within this first bout. I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen. But without further delay, we are on bout 16 with the Nissan Leaf joining us. Let's get into it. I agree, Teddy. And already out the gate, just massive pit maneuvers with the Sylvia and the RS2000 Red just immediately getting stuck on those drivers. We're going to go ahead and bump our speed up to 1.3 miles per hour. Let's start seeing some real racing here. The Nissan Leaf surrendering position here. The Ford GT taking them to that wall, executing a disgusting pit maneuver, getting that Nissan to slowly get forced off here. The Ford unwilling to compromise. He is willing to take himself down to get this electric car out of this race. I've never seen this before, ladies and gentlemen. A classic vehicle, just an absolute hater on EV, on environmentally friendly vehicles. It's shocking. It truly is. But the Nissan Leaf holding its own, unwilling to quit, unwilling to compromise with the bully red car. Unfortunately, that is it for the Nissan Leaf. That GT unwilling to allow them to share the spotlight with a classic car. We're going to bump our speed up to the 1.8, focus on our vehicles that are still in the race. Now that Lotus starts to poop out at those higher speeds because it is a lighter vehicle. We just got rated by Call Me Nemo with a party of 4. Thank you very much, Nemo. Welcome to Hot Wheel Racing 2025 Tuesday. We have still our Ford RS2000 and Ford GT. Regardless of how this race turns out, Ford is the winner. Ford's going to be the winner no matter what. But let's go ahead and up the pressure on these two vehicles. We're going to 2.3 miles per hour. RS2000 struggling to maintain pace with that Ford GT. Now again, its sibling, the red RS2000, has had really solid race days. And again, when you get a newcomer on the scene, they usually have a little bit of a hard time getting going. They have a hard time maintaining that pace. We're going to go ahead and up the speed to 3 miles an hour. How are you, Nemo? My apologies. This is very exciting. Hello, Big Guy Beak. Welcome on in. What do you do? What do you say? Call me Nemo. Thank you very much for the raid. I hope you've had a lovely day. What were we doing? Were we Tarkoving? Were we Island? What do we have? What do you hear? What do you say? All right, let's up that speed to 3.5 miles per hour, putting some pressure on these two Fords. Unable to break away from that right side wall. We've seen a lot of action on that right side wall. We may need to look into offsetting that a little bit. Only real action we've had tonight was the BMW playing on that left side. Some slow pushback there. They're really using that wall as a crutch. We're going to 3.8 miles per hour. We are at maximum speed for our Fumley walking pad that I had delivered today from, I almost said McDonald's, from Walmart. You just can't beat perfection. No matter how hard that RS2000 is going to push, you just can't beat the Holder. Like 310 miles per hour, ladies and gentlemen. That means that the GT could easily hold out at something close to 3.1. And we are at 3.8, and it's just, there is no problems whatsoever. Because, like, again, Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want on your Burger King burger is somebody's foot fungus, but that might just be what you get. This all looks neat. I know, playing Avowed and ended with some of the aisle. Hell yeah, dude. How'd the aisle go? What kind of dinosaur were you? We're going to go ahead and put a stop to this absolute carnage of these two heavy hitters. And again, this RS2000 being the second newcomer we just have besides the Nissan Leaf, just unwilling to compromise, unwilling to surrender. We're going to take a brief intermission. I'm not going to cut the camera or anything. We need to get some more counterbalance on the right side of the treadmill. I'm going to go ahead and get some more cardboard to offset that a little bit. Hey! I need some paper for that right side. Oh, I just caught a freaking table that hurt so bad. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have returned. Oh, snap, we got... Oh, man, Big Guy Beak, Big Guy Beak. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought I saw somebody new, my apologies. Alright, so we are going to very, very gently lift this guy up. We're going to stick some more cardboard under him, because once you get him to where it's kind of raised up in the air. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to kind of find that right balance. So cardboard kind of gradually pushing it up here to get that right level of balance. So let's go ahead and hop in to the final bout of bout 16. We're going to see which of these two heavy hitters. A massive stall out there for a second on the RS2000, able to get his feet under him though very quickly. We're going to go ahead and bump it. We're going to put the pressure on early. We're going to go to 1.5 miles per hour. So again, they refuse to quit. They find their spot, and they if they fits, they sits. RS2000 coming over to the Ford. Despite them both being part of the same company, we have massive back and forth there from the RS2000. Absolutely struggling here. Once we hit maximum speed, we are going to set a timer, and whoever maintains that position for longer will be the winner of bout 16. Putting the pressure on, going to 3.3, 3.4, and we are maxed out on speed. The Ford GT and the RS2000 both maintaining their pace beautifully, but will the GT be able to hold that spot for the next 1 minute as of now? Once we hit 2 hours and 3 minutes, or sorry, 2 hours and 4 minutes, that will be the end of bout 16. I'm going to read some chat here. This commercial break brought to you by Joe's Crab Shack. Joe's Crab Shack. You kill 'em, we grill 'em. It was dope. I'm enjoying it so far, and I was playing car now. Nice! I am Jonathan Dinosaur. We have, as of now, around 30 seconds. We have 30 seconds left in bout 16. This could still go either way for these two cars. Into the space-time continuum, indeed. We have 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left for anything to change. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is it. The Ford GT taking the gold for bout 16. Glad we did a little offset there with the right side. It definitely seemed like it needed a little bit because we still have a lot of play on the right side of that track. Hopefully that little bit of cardboard though will offset that just a tiny bit. We're going to go ahead and get these drivers set, but first I am going to take a quick brief intermission for the restroom. I will be back shortly. In the meantime, I will leave you with Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear to give you guys the rundown of this race. You cannot stand up with headphones on, though. I apologize. that is all from Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear for that brief intermission. Thank you very much, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear. So, let's go ahead and get our races back on the track. Our racers back on the track here. Oh, goodness gracious. I've been playing a good bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance lately. That's been a lot of fun. I have been enjoying myself quite a bit playing through the first game. It definitely has a lot of problems, and I feel like a lot of people will get mad at you if you if you call it out for the issues that it has, but you know, it is what it is. I think my biggest complaint with Kingdom Come Deliverance was the saving system. And a lot of people, when you try to talk to them about it in the community, they will jump down your throat. I cannot find the Lotus. There it is. But here's the thing. The Nexus mod page speaks for itself. The saving mod, so you don't have to rely on an item to save your game, has 1.5 million downloads. Kind of no point in arguing with people when when the statistics speak for themselves. We are going to mess with the camera angle. I'm scared too, because last time I touched the camera, it turned off. Fanboys are gonna fanboys. You're very right for that. Didn't think of that, fanboys before. Exactly. So, about 17. Let's jump in. Right out the gate, we have our usual pileup. The BMW going full scorched earth with the last two Titans of about 16, just not having any of their mess. Did not want to even have them a chance. Clearly a salty little bitch. The Sylvia and the Civic trading some blows here. The Civic stuck in a pit maneuver. We're going to go ahead and put the pressure on them at 1 miles per hour. The Civic trying so hard to knock the Sylvia, and they are both out of here. So we are left with the Quattro, the Nissan, the red cars, which is the RS2000 and the Mustang, and our Lotus. Now the Lotus, because it is a slightly lighter body, definitely struggles with this race once the speed really starts getting going. As we said, we've already seen it kind of surrendering some positions here. We're going to bump it to 2 miles per hour. The Lotus just unable to maintain pace with the rest. And the RS2000 and Mustang stuck in a pit, take each other down. They are out of this race. We are left with the Quattro, the Elise, the Lotus Amira still hanging on for dear life. The Quattro and the Nissan still in it to win it. The only reason I'm feeling like the Nissan might still only be in this race because of the Quattro, but we could be wrong. And the Lotus is out of here. We are stuck with the Nissan and the Quattro. Let's go ahead and start ramping up the pressure on them. We're going to go to 2.7 miles per hour. The Leaf, unfortunately, surrendering their position there, having to fall back just a bit onto that Yarn safety net. And they are holding there at 2.8. We're going to bump it to 3, keep the pressure on these two absolute beasts of drivers. The Nissan just slowly being worked back there. That could be because their battery just cannot maintain that pace of 3 miles per hour, or because, again, newcomer on the scene, they just haven't had a chance to get those wheels spinning, to get them warmed up. But unfortunately, it does look like, got a little grinding going on over here. I'm going to fix that. The Nissan hanging on for dear life here. We're going to ramp up the pressure. We're going to 3.3. The Quattro still hanging out up there. Very comfy spot for them on that left side. We're going to 3.6. The Nissan just unwilling to quit, unwilling to compromise, hanging on for dear life. But unfortunately, they are not at capacity yet. We are at maximum speed at 3.8 miles per hour, and the Nissan has to fold to the Audi Quattro. We have seen so many wins tonight from this absolute monster of a Hot Wheel. Give him a little nudge there, let him show off. You just can't beat it sometimes. You just cannot beat it. So, solid races there. I don't think anyone needs to get eliminated here. We might stick the BMW pretty much where they've been. They have been pushing really hard from that far right. We might reposition them 3 cars from that left side, but we need to go ahead and get some new blood into this race day. So, we have coming onto the scene the Fiat 500e, little smart car looking ass. Look at that bad boy. Ugh. So, we have 3 new contenders to come on the scene. As we've seen already, we have the DeLorean, the DMC DeLorean, which of course is famous because of Back to the Future. Not the Back to the Future model, but still a DeLorean nonetheless. The Koenigsegg Gemera, which is probably like a $3 million car. I might be underselling that though. And we have last the Fiat 500e. 3 very interesting contenders because you have your middle of the road car with your DeLorean, you have your insane supercar with the Koenigsegg and the Fiat 500e. Basically, the blue car, the gray car, or the yellow car. Those are our options for our newcomers onto the scene. We are at 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 25 seconds. The votes will start in 3 seconds. And we have 1 minute to pick a new car to unbox. You vote DeLorean. Okay, we got to vote for the DeLorean. I like it. The Dolores is, of course, driving the DeLorean. So that is, again, if you are just now tuning in, we are holding a vote for the new vehicle. We have 30 seconds to decide what our new racer is going to be. We got the gray car, the yellow car, or the blue car, or the Fiat 500, the Koenigsegg, or the DeLorean. Those are our options. We got 15 seconds. 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. And Dizzy. And that is all she wrote. The polling has been closed. So, we got the DeLorean as our newcomer onto the scene. Could they be a contender for the Quattro? We will find out. And again, just like with the Silvia, we have this beautiful matte finish. There's even little gaps in the windows, which is kind of cool. Yeah, just a nice car. Such lovely white accents on those wheels and a beautiful matte finish. You also have the blinders in the rear of the vehicle for the sun. But just such an amazing looking car. Alright, without further delay, let's get into bout 18 with the first ever debut of the DeLorean. Let's start doing this. When we have a newcomer onto the scene, we should let them do like kind of a warm-up lap. We're going to let them get their wheels spinning here. And see just how much they can perform here. The tiniest stall out when we first started, but immediately right into business. No hesitation whatsoever. So I think that's a really good start. That bodes well for the DeLorean. We're going to go ahead and get everybody set up on the track here. Just massive car pile up there from the right side. And because I'm a man of my word, we are going to put the BMW on that left side. Now that's going to put a lot of pressure on that Quattro, on our Audi here, and our DeLorean that is joining, of course, just now joining the scene. We're going to get our Silvia, our Mustang. I'm going to break up the RS2000 and the Mustang with another RS2000 because that's how I roll, baby. Okay, and last but not least, we have our Honda Civic. We have our Nissan Leaf. We're going to have to start running people into second position here. We're going to see a lot more crashes. We're going to see a lot more competition between these different drivers trying to fight for positions and settling their bad bets. Alright, racers are in position for bout number 19. Let's see how we go. We're going to immediately put that pressure on him, go straight to 1.2 miles per hour. We already have a pit. Beautiful recovery, though. The Quattro throwing it in reverse. Oh, and the Quattro is disqualified for going over the starting barrier. The Sylvia and the Ford GT unable to break there. The Lotus and the RS2000 kind of going back and forth a little bit. The DeLorean holding that pocket beautifully, and the Nissan Leaf unfortunately in the back there. That is dangerous for them because, again, those electric cars just cannot maintain pace sometimes. We're going to put some pressure on, though. We're going to go to 1.6 miles per hour. Seeing a lot more fishtail on the 73 Honda Civic. Not quite able to maintain pace. It's usually around this area where our Lotus has some trouble, so hopefully they can find a trick or something here to be able to maintain that pace. The RS2000 not having any of the Lotus's poo-poo shit. The Lotus getting in a nice comfy spot back there with the Nissan Leaf. They're going to probably hang out there for a while. We're going to bump it up to 2.1 miles per hour. The BMW floating a little bit there. The Lotus exploring the middle of the track. And the Civic and the Ford Mustang crashing out with the Lotus not far behind them. How unfortunate. The RS2000 potentially putting pressure on the BMW, but he immediately gets out of there and surrenders that spot. The BMW falling behind, though, the Nissan Leaf. The RS2000 challenging the DeLorean in the front. The red RS2000 just trying to get through his day. He's had a long day. The wife and kids got mad at him. He wasn't able to go to the piano recital, so he's just trying to hang out and get through this race so he can go home and be with his wife and kids. We're going to up it up to 2.6 miles per hour. The green RS2000 surprisingly falling behind. The BMW kind of stopping that descent there. The BMW, again, getting stuck on that wall with such a light body, struggling to maintain anything over that 2 miles per hour mark. The DeLorean performing beautifully. Shake and bake, baby. And cocky.
Looking at me in my chair, and you tell me it's all in my head? I hope that both of you have sons. Handsome, beautiful, articulate sons who are talented and star athletes.
That green RS2000 just all over the place. Absolutely unafraid to explore more of the track.
Don't you put that on us.
The BMW on its last legs. The green RS2000 finally kind of getting settled in a nice comfy spot. The DeLorean slowly falling back to the Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf has been maintaining position at that 2 miles per hour. What are we at? 2.7 miles per hour mark. Beautifully maintaining position. The BMW trying to find a comfy spot on that wall. Let's up it to 3.1 miles per hour. The BMW still just hanging on for dear life. The DeLorean surprisingly struggling, surrendering that spot, almost surrendering that spot to the Nissan Leaf. Maybe this is their plan. Maybe they are just trying to take the Nissan Leaf out to take that would secure them third place by knocking out the Leaf, followed by the BMW. The RS2000s, as they do, performing beautifully. Let's put the pressure on. We're going to go to 3.4 miles per hour. The DeLorean starting to show their age, goes down with the BMW. The Leaf is soon to follow, and that leaves us with the RS2000s. Just absolute heavyweights of this champion. We're going to put it on 3.8 and see if anything changes. I don't think it's going to. We're probably going to have to do a reset. We're going to go ahead and set a timer here. We're at 20 minutes, 35 seconds. At 21 minutes, we are going to reset and give them another shot, followed by another minute. And whoever has that holder, that higher position, will win this race. It does look like the red RS2000 has an advantage. There is a wheel difference on the red RS2000. The front and the back wheels are different. That could be affecting the outcome of this current race. Let's see how they do. And that is the... Here, we'll give him 10 more seconds. We'll see if anything's changing, because again, that green RS2000 struggling to maintain pace with the red RS2000. And that is time for them. So we're going to stop, and we're going to do a quick reset. We're going to get these two RS2000s ready to go for the final bout of bout 19. I see you found doo-doo. Head to bed after this race. Eyelids are getting heavy. This was really fun. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it took us about an hour and a half to get it all figured out. It certainly took a minute. All right, let's get them flush against each other there. No space for the wicked. Let's finish off this bout of 19. We're going to put the pressure on immediately at 2 miles per hour just to increase that unpredictable ability. Once they both get settled, we will put that minute timer on and we will find out. Again, that RS2000 is just able to hold that corner so well. We're going to start putting the pressure on early, though. We're going to go to 3.1 miles per hour. Not a lot. Oh, here we go. The green RS2000 struggling to maintain that pace, getting pushed off the track, and the red RS2000 takes it. Sorry, little guy. Age before beauty. But yeah, red RS2000 takes the W for bout number 19. Awesome race, awesome cars, awesome drivers. Papa John's. Go ahead and get our boys back on the track, back into this race, and we will see who takes the win for bout number 20. These multiples of 5 I count as being more important races than the normal series we have been doing. I'm going to once again put that BMW more so in the center. It seems like putting him off to the right side does close these races early just because of how volatile he will push to that left side. And while we're getting set up again, I would like to turn it over to Reese's Pieces Bear. Reese's Pieces Bear, take it away. Oh, they love getting stuck in such dumb spots. Oh, there we go. And the Sylvia. Okay, I think all drivers are present. Do a quick head count here. I do believe all drivers are present. I'll do a quick inventory check. Ugh. It does look like all drivers are currently present. So let's get into bout number 20. This is going to be a big bout. Glad to end on a red win. Exactly. Night Fritos, Night Reese's Teddy, Night Chat. Thank you very much for joining us for our first ever Hot Wheels Twitch live stream. Thank you very much for joining. So let's go ahead and get these drivers set. I feel like we're missing somebody. Are we missing somebody? Maybe not. Double check one more time. I think we're okay. Pretty sure we're good. Okay. Again, that's bout number 20. After this bout, we are going to, again, get some new cars onto the scene. We're going to put the pressure on early. 1.5, huge crash out there caused by the Sylvia and the DeLorean. The Sylvia somehow surviving. That was honestly insane. They took out so many cars, and while they are stuck in reverse, they are also hooked to that wall. They just took out 5 drivers. We're going to put the pressure on quick. We're going to go to 2 miles per hour. BMW, as usual, struggling to find its place. Maybe one day he will get it the fuck together. The Quattro and the red RS2000 fighting for that position. Now, the red RS2000 does like to pull to the right quite a bit, but the Quattro is probably the most balanced car in this race series, so the RS2000 is going to have a very hard time pushing to that right side. The BMW on his way out. It's basically a done deal. Wait, the BMW taking a little bit of ground but losing it immediately, absolutely struggling. We're going to put the pressure on him, though. We're going to 2.5 miles per hour. And the BMW takes the big dive. A lot of stability going on here. Very impressive plays by the Sylvia over there in that back right corner. the red RS2000 surrendering position only to be smacked out of this race by the Ford GT. The Honda Civic really struggling to maintain pace now. That wall is not stopping nothing. Smacks into the Silvia. The Silvia is keeping that Honda Civic in this race. We're going to up the speed to 3.1 miles per hour. The Quattro, again, just such an immaculate vehicle. Unable to quit, unable to compromise. This is his race. We're just allowed to be in it. Not a lot of changes going on here in Bout 20, but Lord, do they want it. The Silvia has been having a hard time since it came onto the scene to get any real notice, so him being able to be back there in that reversal position, being able to hold there, despite the Civic not being able to maintain this pace, is pretty huge for the Silvia. Very impressive, but I don't know how the Silvia gets out of that position without going overboard, especially in reverse. We're going to bump up to 3.5 miles per hour. The Quattro moving back and forth, struggling to find, and it takes out the Ford GT with a full spin out. That was insane. We're going to bump up to maximum speed at 3.8 miles per hour. A lot of shakiness, a lot of uncertainty over there with the Silvia. The Honda Civic doing everything it can to get the Nissan out of this race. Just absolutely no compromising here. The Silvia unwilling to make any play to try to get that Civic around them. More than likely they are going for a clock play here. I'm going to go ahead and give them 20 seconds to make a move, as they have been stuck there for quite some time in this bout. So we're going to give them a moment. Two newcomers onto the scene, two very fresh newcomers. The Silvia has been here longer than the Civic, but that doesn't change the fact that they both have something to prove, that this will for both of them be a first-time win on a multiple of 5. As we know, multiple of 5 races are a bigger deal than the other races. And that is all the time they have. We're going to go ahead and stop Bout 20 to give a reset, to give a breather to these two drivers and my poor treadmill. And we are stopped. So we're going to go ahead and stick our Honda Civic and our Silvia. They both seem to favor that right side, so I think we'll get a very interesting result if we force them to both play initially from that left side as they try to push for the right position. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're immediately going to start it off strong at 1.8 miles per hour. The Civic being pit by the Silvia, and the Civic takes the gold for bout number 20. That was huge. Let's go ahead and get some music going. Oh, what a race. Alrighty, let's get back into it, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? This is coming up on bout 21. So we're going to go ahead and hold off on any newcomers for the moment. We're going to get reset. We're going to get these racers back in it to win it. But first, I did promise we were going to do King of the Losers. So we will be putting all of our not so great drivers a chance to redeem themselves, to get involved in the next 5 bouts, to potentially permanently get back into the series. So we're going to immediately put the pressure on them. We're going straight to 1.8. And immediately the Mustang not able to keep up, the Knight Rider and the Dodge out. So the Aston Martin able to hold his own, played very smart, played it very quickly onto that left side, and it paid off for him for sure. So welcome back, Aston Martin, to the land of the living. You were missed by many. And again, these rubber wheels just cannot cut it on this track. Which is a shame, because I genuinely do like their rubber wheels. Alright, let's get reset for bout 21. Our king of the losers is the Aston Martin. Go ahead and get everybody all setty spaghetti here. My voice actually hurts from yelling and talking and shit. This is so fun, though. Say we're missing our 4GT. I don't see him. Just such great races today. Such great racers today. We have seen some serious competition on this track. The Quattro, the RS2000s, the 4GTs, and now we have a confirmed win from the 73 Honda Civic. No one saw that coming. I think everyone's present. Do a quick check. Okay. Y'all can see my beautiful head when I go under there, my full head of hair. Alright, let's jump in to bout 21. Aston Martin finally getting to make his new debut. The RS2000 with a complete stall out. Tried to get those wheels going again. A huge pileup caused by that Nissan Leaf. The DeLorean holding that right position by himself. He's getting close to the edge. He is at that halfway point. That could be dangerous. The Quattro keeping the Aston Martin in this race single-handedly, going to 1.8 miles per hour. A huge play there by the Mustang. The BMW not able to get comfy again, is a crash out. Now, the DeLorean and the RS2000 slowly maintaining that pace. Not able, though, to get any room from that Mustang. They are stuck together there, but we have a lot of weight on that yarn to keep them in place. But again, we're talking a very heavy die-cast car here. The DeLorean goes down, the 2000 and the Mustang goes down. It's amazing. Our back from the dead Aston Martin is holding his own this race with not only another car, but with the Quattro, the absolute champion. When we put the pressure, though, that Aston Martin just can't compete. And that is it for bout 21. Very good race. Got a max speed right away. Yeah, let's do it. Bout 22, max speed right out the gate. Let's do it. Let's freaking go. We'll get our Aston Martin back in here. Get your Aston Martin back in here. I do think we will see some interesting results with our BMW, who loves playing that left side, sandwiched there with the Aston Martin, who really, the Aston Martin kind of gasses out at that 2.8 mark. As soon as things get tough, unfortunately, those rubber wheels cannot maintain pace. Okay, let's get this guy ready. Alright, we're missing our Ford GT, and there's someone else missing too. The Lotus. Was the Lotus in the last race? The Lotus might be MIA again, you guys. He is a sneaky little bugger, isn't he? Yep, I see him. I'm fairly certain our Lotus, again, ended up getting stage fright, and unfortunately did miss a race because they were also sleeping in. And our Ford GT is somewhere. I have no idea where the Ford GT went. Oh my gosh, where the heck did he go? I really can't find him, you guys. Yo, where'd the Ford GT go? Oh my goodness, there he is. He was being extra sneaky. He's getting tired. I got this boy at a pawn shop. I pulled it from a bin with a whole bunch of random NASCAR Hot Wheels. I take it up to the counter. The packaging is absolutely destroyed. But mint condition packaging, these guys can go for up to $20 on Marketplace. It is going to be epic, you are correct. It's going to be hard to narrate, so whatever happens, I'll try to keep up, but no promises. I'm actually going to switch positions here with the Lotus because it is a very light vehicle. It is going to have trouble maintaining that pace. So we're going to swap the position for the Quattro with the Lotus. And let's get into bout 22 with instant maximum pressure. We are at 3.8 miles per hour. Massive plays here. The Silvia takes out half of the racers. The Quattro with a full spin out. The Nissan Leaf finally taking the opportunity to show its potential. The Ford GT absolutely dominating despite starting in a second place position. Somehow my treadmill is at 4 miles per hour. It's not supposed to go that high. I don't know what the hell's going on. So we have our clock now that we have two racers who have gotten stuck together here. Alright, they have 30 seconds to make a play here until they will be at a full reset to give them another shot at the gold. I think the Ford GT is going to take it, but again, the Leaf has shown its potential. It survived massive car pileups there in the very beginning. And that is it for our first round. We're going to overtime for this next bout. We will once again be bumping straight into max speed to put as much pressure on these two drivers as possible. He's got cool wheels. All right, let's hop in to our next bout, shall we? A left side play from the Leaf. The Ford GT getting settled on that right side. The Leaf struggling to maintain pace, trying to find a side he can cling to, and is pushed back. You just can't mess with perfection. The pressure was on for the Leaf, and unfortunately it did crack, but you have to still give it to the electric vehicle. It held its own in that first round against the Ford GT. Just could not get its footing in that second bout. But congratulations to the Ford GT for one heck of a race. Excuse me. Ugh. God, how do announcers, how do narrators do this shit? It's so tiring. Water. Oh, where'd my water go? Hell yeah. Just such a huge play from the electric vehicle. I'm glad our driver is not tapping out.
Did you wash your ass today?
I did wash my ass today. Thank you for asking. Oh my god. Remind me to never do that again. Get our DeLorean into the field here. Oh, and I am on top of the empty water bottle. Yeah, the hardest part really is just getting them out of the cracks and crevices of our setup, because again, this is just a ton of books and styrofoam and cardboard all topped off on each other, so we can get that comfy speed going. Alright, we'll get set up for our next bout with these absolute Giga Chad racers. Let me see if I can't find... Oh, yep, there's a BMW. There, I found one. Okay, we're still missing somebody. Who are we missing? Where's 2000s, a Lotus? Sylvia. That's what we're missing. We're missing the Sylvia. Ugh. There he is. Ah, we got him. We got him. Yeah. Alright, the Sylvia definitely struggling to maintain that pace with the rest of these vehicles. I wouldn't mind the idea of potentially raising this guy. That might be a potential thing that we're going to end up doing, because there are so many lighter die-cast vehicles that are just struggling with the current height of the treadmill. But we've got it at a very sweet spot currently. I'm kind of iffy on messing with it, but again, it could be better. So after this, after about 23, I'm going to look into potentially getting some more cardboard for this walking pad. Did you wash your ass today? Without further delay, bout 23. After this bout, we're going to get some more new blood on the scene. Let's get started. Nice clean start. Immediately followed by the Ford GT taking out 2 other vehicles. We're going to jump right into 1.5 miles per hour. A huge spin out from 4 different vehicles. I know the DeLorean, the Quattro, and the Ford Mustang were involved in that. The Leaf absolutely destroyed by the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin still embarrassed about its excommunication from the Primary League. The RS2000s, of course, absolutely killing it. The BMW, no chance, no shot. We're at 2.5 miles per hour. This is probably going to turn into an overtime bout once again. Let's put the heat on them. We're going to 4. The red RS2000 struggling, pushing back its cousin. The green RS2000 might not be able to hold it here. Another little nudge from the 2 of them, but it looks like they might settle. The red RS2000 struggling and somehow recovering. Holy moly, we're less than a quarter of an inch from that backside, and the green RS2000 yields it to its cousin. Now we're left with the Aston Martin and the RS2000 red. We got, what are we at? I'm going to give them 40 seconds for a recovery here, for something to happen. Both holding that position beautifully. The Aston Martin, at such a huge disadvantage, has perfectly managed to kind of brace itself against that right side, or yeah, that left side yarn. But the red RS2000 in such a precarious spot. If he can hold out here, he will probably win the overtime bout. There is 10 seconds left on the clock. Will the RS2000 hang on? It is genuinely so close. And that is that. We are going to overtime for bout 23. So long as he can hang on. If he falls off, then that's it. Alright, the cars have come to a complete stop, and we are ready to set up for the finale of bout 23. If the cars end up settling, again, they will go to the usually around 40 to 50 seconds, and then the winner will be called. Let's get into it. I'm going to immediately start them out the gate with 2 miles per hour. We're going to put the pressure on them immediately. The Aston Martin, struggling to maintain pace, gets himself on the last second in a nice comfy spot on that left side. We're going to put the pressure on him. We're going to 3. The Aston Martin yielding that spot, in the red RS2000 once again takes the victory. All right. I'm going to go ahead and run to the other room briefly. We're going to get some cardboard to stick under this guy to attempt to raise it ever so slightly. I'll be back very soon, guys. I'll hand you over to my friend and confidant, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear. Alrighty. We have our little bit of counterweight. We really did quite a bit to get it where it currently is. But sometimes you just need a little adjustment, you know? And thankfully this came with very, very thick packaging. I see we are currently in an ad break for some people. I don't know if it's like for everybody. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get our treadmill set up there. Here we go. This thing is deceptively heavy for how small it is. Just gonna do a little tear there. Okay. Try to move it as little as possible here. There we go. Alright. A little bit of extra height there just to help offset that little bit of height. Okay. Let's get some new blood into the mix here. So up next, and I'm hoping as we keep raising the height on this guy, we might be able to introduce some of the rubber tire cars. Now we have the 007 Lotus Spirit of 1991 from the James Bond movie. Wait, 007, is 007 James Bond? I don't know. I never really watched those movies. So, in our newbie lineup, that is the Lotus Spirit S1. We also have a Fiat 500e. And last but certainly not least is the Koenig Chimera. If we don't get any voters this time around, which is perfectly okay, we will be going ahead and launching the Koenigsegg Chimera into this bout. Go ahead and get your votes in, ladies and germs. We got... Hold on, I'm waiting for it to hit an even number. I like even numbers. Alright, 1 minute. Get your votes in, ladies and gentlemen. The white, the gray, or the yellow car. What are we thinking? That's if you're currently tuning in, we are doing a vote on the next vehicle that should be added to our race. We have 30 seconds left until a winner is chosen. Get your bets in now. Again, that is going to be the Koenigsegg Chimera, the Fiat 500, and the Lotus Spirit. All right. Voting is done. We will be swapping in the Koenigsegg Chimera. Very excited to see how this bad boy performs. I also, again, got this car out in California for $6. Definitely worth it. A very cool car indeed. Part of the Hot Wheels Exotic series. So just a nice standard vehicle here. Very nice flat body. Very flush too. I'm wondering if that will end up helping or hurting their chances. I imagine the higher up off the ground you are, the less resistance you will be feeling on that treadmill, on that rough track. So we're going to see how this bad boy performs this evening. Just a beautiful model of the Koenigsegg Chimera. Without further delay, let's hop into bout 24? 24? I'm pretty sure we're on 24. Hopefully we will see some bigger plays from some of our lighter vehicles with the slight offset of the treadmill height. Because every little fraction of cardboard we add to that will make a difference. It might not seem like it, but it will make some level of difference to the outcome of these races. We'll throw a wrench in everybody's plans. The BMW is such a fighter, such a scrapper. They are the wild card of these bouts. And I feel like we are missing somebody here. I'm fairly certain somebody is MIA at the moment. Oh, yep, I feel somebody. Down in there. Alright, I gotta go around from the other side. Ah, it is the Nissan Leaf and his hidey hole. Whew. Y'all, my throat is gonna be destroyed from all the yelling, and I'm honestly don't care. I'm having so much fun. Okay, so about 24. We got new blood on the scene. We are going to see how the Koenigsegg Gemera. We have a slightly, ever so slightly raised treadmill, and we're going to go ahead and hop in to about 24. Let's freaking get it. I'm gonna put the pressure on immediately at 1.4 miles per hour. The Silvia immediately trying to pit the Ford GT. We're seeing much better action here from our lighter vehicles. The Lotus absolutely out. The RS2000 made sure that they were not going to come back for this bout. The RS2000 with a huge bounce off that front railing. He needs to be careful because if he does go over, that is an instant disqualification. We are seeing such better plays here from our lighter vehicles. I'm very happy we increased the height of this treadmill. The Ford GT and the Silvia both taking each other out, slightly messing up the guardrail. The RS2000 getting pitted by the Leaf, and they are both out of here. We're going to go to 2.1 miles per hour. The DeLorean struggling to unbrake from the Ford GT. Things have kind of stabled out on that end of the treadmill for the moment. Oh, excuse me. Whew. And they both go down. We have a lot of place here still on this left side. The BMW doing his thing, holding that spot. The green RS2000 trying to find a space, trying to break things up. They have always played aggressively until they don't have to. That's been their current thing. The Quattro gets pit, takes down two other cars with them. The Vantage and the RS2000 are out. The Koenigsegg Gemera just killing it this race. The BMW still in. The Civic still in. These racers have locked in their positions, but let's put some pressure on them with 3 miles per hour now. Gotta get like trunk Hot Wheels, if that's a thing, to do them for the next stream, or whatever they're called to race them. I'm not sure. Can you send me a link? Seeing some pretty solid play here. That height difference really made quite an impact on these races. These lighter vehicles are able to hold their own. We're going to go at max speed at 4 miles per hour. We are at top speed right now. The Civic not able to keep up. That guardrail not able to maintain its position. The BMW crashing out, getting stuck on the rail with an instant disqualification. The newcomer, the Koenigsegg Gemera, brand new to this series, takes the gold for about 24. Congratulations to our newcomer, Koenigsegg Gemera. I had very high hopes for him. He is a very, very beautiful car. Absolutely killed it. Let's get set up for bout 25. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be for the history books, ladies and germs. I'm going to stick the RS2000 along the Leaf there. We have the BMW. His positioning is probably one of the biggest impactors of this race because of the constant pushing to the left. Granted, all cars, with maybe the exception of the Quattro, will favor one side over the other. And so that is one thing to keep in mind in this race. Ashton Martin, very excited to once again be part of this race, to get out of the stinky doo-doo head box. And after this bout, let's do another King of the Losers for potential redemption. If one of them can hold position for 20 seconds at 3 miles per hour, we will allow them to re-enter the primary series for 2025 Tuesday racing. Let's get everybody back on the track here. Our final contesters, the Lotus Elise and the RS2000 Red. We're going to have a very interesting start to this race because, again, the Lotus, I believe, is probably the lightest car on this track. They're going to have a very hard time maintaining that pace with the rest of the vehicles. Let's go ahead and start. We're going to bump immediately to 1.5 as we've been doing the last few races. Massive car pile up. The BMW and the DeLorean take out a metric crap ton of the racers. The Quattro fighting for the Leaf. The Leaf with a full spin out. The RS2000 Green barely saving it by throwing it into reverse. We have the Mustang, the Quattro, the Koenigsegg, and the two RS2000s still in this race, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to move our camera a little bit closer because I feel like you all are having some issues seeing our racers here. There we go. That should be a little better for you guys so you can see see what's going on a little more. All right, we're still not at top speed. We have a little bit of hooking going on by the Quattro. Sometimes you got to watch out for that. It's not their fault. It just happens sometimes. We're at 2.2 miles per hour now. The Koenigsegg holding beautifully. The Mustang has had a rough go of it for the last 15 bouts or so. It's about time they got back on track to getting a win, especially on 25. They've been saving themselves for 25. They're a little wobbly there, but that's okay because they have a very high position. That slight adjustment to the treadmill will help with maintaining that pace, but he is certainly having issues with stability compared to the Quattro, which is just what a perfect vehicle. The Koenigsegg, we got some movement there. Put more stress on him at 3.2 miles per hour. The Mustang doing a little bit of a fishtail. Might end up taking down the Quattro and himself. The Koenigsegg really feeling some of that pressure now. It might have been some beginner's luck. Who knows? That Mustang still in the danger zone, potentially pressuring that Quattro, but the Quattro is unbothered. The RS2000 Green in the back still holding it out. The Koenigsegg with a full spin out after hitting a guardrail. We have our classic vehicle still in this race. Make sure this guy is not... Okay, yeah, he's not hooked. Okay. All right. Let's turn up the speed. We're going to maximum speed 4 miles an hour. That's the most this treadmill can do. The Ford Mustang all over the place. A proper crash out. The Quattro over the guardrail. The red RS2000 slowly working his way back to his brother, the green RS2000. They have locked in place. We are going to go ahead and set a limit here on how long they can be in this race. We're going to give them 35 seconds to make something happen here. Again, this is our first ever race. If you're just tuning in, I thank you dearly. The drivers have 5 seconds to bring it back. And that is time. We will get reset for the RS2000s to find a winner of bout 26. The Koenigsegg really struggled there. As soon as we really started putting that heavy pressure on, we saw a lot of fishtailing. We saw a lot of instability. And as usual, the RS2000s just holding their own, absolutely killing it in their lane, hydrated, actually vibing, real and RS2000 build. These cars tend to push to that right side, so we're going to start them to the left. And let's start our race, shall we? We're going to ramp up the pressure immediately to 3.1 miles per hour. Really putting the stress on those RS2000s as they are going to look for stability along those guardrails. But before they can, 3.8 miles per hour, and the green RS2000 with a full crash out. The red RS2000 wins bout 26. Congratulations, red RS2000. What an amazing race day. We still have, I don't know, how many more bouts should we do? Probably a few. Okay. I did not realize our teddy bear is taking a break. He had to go eat these sleepies, but he is back on the scene now. Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear, tell us your thoughts on Bout 25 with the newcomer taking the win and absolutely stomping the competition. I see. And how do you feel about the track, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear? Should edit that post, make him talk. Let's see here. I can't get this fucking BMW out from under you piece of poop. Okay. There we go. We're going to swap out the DeLorean for a second place position to give the BMW the biggest chance that they could possibly have. I also worry about starting the BMW in that second place position because, again, they have had so many rough starts tonight. Are we missing? I feel like we're missing somebody. I'm fairly certain we're missing somebody. Oh, yep, that's right. I forgot the Audi Quattro went completely over that guard railing and just had a proper crash out over there. And we will start them in between the rear position of the Aston Martin and the BMW. Let's get Bout 27 rolling, shall we? Massive crash outs all across the board. The Ford GT and the Silvia unable to break from that lock, and we are left with none other than the Ford Mustang and the BMW. That is absolutely insane. We're going to put the pressure on early. 3.1. The BMW unable to maintain position with a whole spin out under the guardrail, and out he goes, giving such a quick win to our Ford Mustang. He was hungry for it. He wanted it. He stayed off in his own little area, and he was rewarded for it. Congratulations, Red Mustang. That was a quick one, wasn't it? Sometimes with these races, you have just so much instability, so much pull from these vehicles because of the weight problems that they all suffer from. The one vehicle in here that truly drives straight is the Quattro, but sometimes the Quattro just cannot maintain position with the chaos that happens all around them. Starting the Koenigsegg off from the right side, as they have had left side privilege for quite a while, so they're going to take the middle position there. We're going to switch it up with the BMW. We're going to put him at the rear of the pack. The Ford GT off to that right side. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday evening, morning, afternoon, night even. And we are all set to start Bout 28 of Tuesday 2025 Hot Wheels Racing. Let's get it. Gonna start off slow here. Gonna give the racers a chance. The BMW with a full stall out, unable to recover. Absolutely beautiful recovery from the Ford Mustang, getting pitted there by the 73 Honda Civic. Silvia hanging out in the rear of the pack here. A lot of stability, we're saying, giving them a chance to get them wheels rolling. We're going to bump it up to 1.1 miles per hour with a nice slow start here on Bout 28. This is going to be an exciting one, folks. Lots of racers still in it to win it. No real pits have happened yet. That has taken out quite a few drivers. The Ford Mustang and the Civic having a brief bout at that half a mile mark, but they were able to get it back under control, get back in this race. The RS2000 pushing the Koenigsegg quite hard, fighting for position with the Quattro now, with a full spin out with the Lotus, with the DeLorean, and both RS2000s are down. This is certainly an interesting race. 2.2 miles per hour now. The Vantage falling back to the Quattro, unable to maintain that pace, pulling very hard to that left side. 2.7. The Nissan having a very hard time finding its pacing. Gets pitted by the 73 Honda Civic. Can they stop it though? The Silvia pushed to its absolute limit, and they are gone. We have the Koenigsegg, again, favoring that far left side, but not so much they're on the ropes. Ford GT and Boss really fighting hard there. The Vantage and the Quattro really struggling. The Vantage needs to get out from behind that, or the Quattro needs to get out from behind the Vantage, or else there are going to be consequences because we are not going fast. Let's bump it up. 3.1. The Koenigsegg really starting to fishtail a little bit here. Really struggling to keep off that left side guardrail. Going far, going to say hi to the Ford GT. Almost pits out the Ford GT. The Boss Mustang struggling to maintain this pace. The Ford GT fighting the Koenigsegg to not get pitted, and they go down. We are left with the Quattro, the Ford, and the Aston Martin. We're going to 3.6. We are almost at maximum speed currently. Interesting plays going on here by the Vantage and the Quattro. The Vantage forcing the Quattro to keep him in the fight. We're going to 4. We are at max speed now. And we forgot to do something. We were supposed to do our next bout of King of the Losers. A lot of stability going on here, not a lot of movement. We're going to go ahead and set a clock here. The drivers have 45 seconds to make a play. Otherwise, there will be a full reset. The Ford unwilling to quit in such a comfortable spot over there. As soon as he finds his spot on the wall, he stays there. If he fits, he sits. The Aston Martin just forcing the Quattro to keep him in this race. If there is a reset, the Aston Martin will not survive it. It will come down to the Quattro and the Ford Mustang 69. And that is it. They have hit the time limit. There will be a stoppage. I'm also going to adjust the camera a little bit to better show you what is happening on screen, as there is a lot of room showing that honestly we don't need. Adjust. This should give everyone a much better view of what's going on down there. I realize everything's a little blurry because, again, I don't have a super nice webcam. That will be much, much easier, though, for our viewers to see what is actually happening there, because I realize there's not a lot of differential between the different colors of cars. Sometimes they just look like blobs, so I'd like to try to mitigate that as much as possible. All right, it is time before bout 29. We will be doing another King of the Losers race to see if any of them are ready for a redemption arc. So we will be pushing them to 3 miles an hour right out the gate. Or maybe not. Let's start them at, I don't know where we should start them at. The Knight Rider trying to cheat as usual. He's a very dirty driver. We're going to see if they have what it takes to maintain their positions to potentially redeem themselves in this race series. The Dodge Challenger falling out, somehow hooking it. The Knight Rider falling back and falling back. There's just no way this driver can hold his own in this bout. We hit 1.8 before getting locked in on that back right. There will be no King of the Losers today. That said, the difference in the height of our treadmill made very big difference. We had a much smoother, more consistent time. The loser cars did have a much larger chance of redemption. I believe we would be able to angle this much, much higher in the back. if I were able, or sorry, this angle would be good if I were able to go over that 4 miles per hour mark. I think 5 miles per hour, we would really start seeing some crazy stuff happening. But for now, 4 miles per hour will have to settle. We are going to start again the BMW in that back line. However, he will be far back right for this next bout, as he has been a very guilty car in pitting other vehicles. So I want to give him all the time he can to pit more vehicles, because he is a stinker butt, and I like stinker butts. Alright, we are missing 3 vehicles. We have the Lotus, there's the Koenigsegg, and the BMW. We are all set for bout 29. Thank you again to everyone for hanging out with me this evening. This has been very fun. We have made Twitch history tonight again. This has literally never been done on Twitch. Ah, that's right. He was supposed to start far right. Let's start the back line all in roughly the same area. We'll see what happens. Bout 29, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start it off nice and slow, just like before. We'll go to 0.7 out the gate. So a little bit of pressure on these drivers. Massive pit stop there. The Vantage, a chance to recover, but they weren't able to bring it back from the brink of death. The BMW absolutely harassing our Lotus here. We're going to 1 mile per hour. Slowly but surely, kind of pushing him into the rest of the pack. We're going to 1.7. Massive spin out from everybody there. The BMW attempting a recovery. Does it successfully. Our Lotus absolutely holding their own. The Quattro and the Ford Mustang over there really, really struggling in that pit position. Slowly being worked back. This might be it for those 2 drivers. The Quattro doing everything in their power to try to unlock themselves from that Ford Mustang. There's just nowhere for them to go, and they are out of here. We are left with our Lotus and our BMW. Let's go to 2.5 miles per hour. The Lotus falling back quite a bit here, unable to maintain that pace with that lower weight, and the BMW takes about 29. That is why the BMW does not go to the loser pit. It is simply built different. While we do a reset, I'll hand you over to my best friend and confidant, Reese's Pieces Bear. Take it away, Reese's Pieces Bear. That's good. So part of the reason this setup is like this too, thank you also, Reese's Pieces. Sorry to interrupt you, Reese's Pieces Bear, but this is important. So this walking treadmill, as well as many other treadmills, suffer from an issue where there is a small gap. You guys can kind of see that there. Yeah, you can see the gap between the lip of the left and right sides of the treadmill from the actual belt. Now, the problem with that is that when cars get too close to that left or right side, they will get stuck and basically just blown right off the track. So the purpose of those left and right sides is to keep our drivers on the track safe and sound. That said, despite our best efforts, they do unfortunately crash out. So, bout 30. This is going to be a big one. Big bout, ladies and gentlemen. I think starting the Lotus always at the front is a good call. The Ford Mustang has been playing that right side a lot, so I think it's a good chance to get him off that side. We're going to go ahead and put him and the RS2000 Red together. Going to put the Koenigsegg on that right side because he also prefers this left side. I like switching it up. I like making these cars not be able to do what they want to do 24/7, 365. That said, I am going to move you right there because the odds of you pitting the BMW are very high. Okay, we have our other RS2000, and we are still missing somebody here. Ah, there we are. The Ashton Martin was hiding very far under the treadmill. All right, ladies and gentlemen, about 30. Let's go. A big stall out there for the Honda Civic. A huge pit right out the gate there. Massive crash out. That was borderline half of all the cars on this track. Let's put the heat on early. 1.6. A decent lineup there. Both the RS2000s and the Ford Mustang all hanging out. The Lotus, not quite sure what it wants to do, but it knows it does want to go left. We're up to 2.0. The Mandalorian, the DeLorean holding a very comfy spot, not on the wall, but not against other cars. The Lotus forced to sacrifice that position because it cannot hold it. Green RS2000 moving back and forth a bit. 2.5 miles per hour. RS2000 almost getting pit by the Honda, knocks the Lotus off to the side. The Lotus struggling to get a grip here on one of the sides. Attempting to settle on that back right, but really struggling. The green RS2000 coasting over to that left side so it isn't impacted by that 73 Honda Civic. A smart play by that driver indeed. We're going to upgrade the speed to 3 miles per hour now. The Koenigsegg pitted the RS2000, somehow recovered, but the red RS2000 is out. The Ford Mustang going back and forth. The Koenigsegg coming back to fight that Ford Mustang. Getting pitted, a massive spin out. We are left with our DeLorean and our Honda Civic. Now, as we know, the DeLorean has not had a victory yet, but the Honda Civic has. The Honda Civic, though, in a precarious spot there in the back. They are in a dangerous zone. They're in the red zone. We're putting the pressure on. We are max speed at 40 miles per hour now. Or, sorry, 40. At 4 miles per hour now. If it were 40, they'd go flying into my wall. The DeLorean absolutely holding their own against the Honda Civic here. The drivers have 30 seconds to make a move, or it will be going into overtime for about 30. A very thrilling race indeed. Oh, but what's this? The green Mustang wants to fight about it. Massive play by him, immediately spins out. The DeLorean is down. That was race interference, so we are going to have to reset there. But just a disgusting spin out from the poor DeLorean. We're going to put these two racers side by side. We want them to feel that pressure from each other. And we are going to start the finale of about 30. Let's get into it. Bumping up immediately to 2.1. Both racers unwilling to move back. The Honda Civic struggling to maintain that frontal position, but as soon as they get on that wall, they are good forever. They will not have any problems holding that position. DeLorean still kind of finding his footing up there. A very steady vehicle for sure. 3 miles per hour now. A little bit of fishtailing there from the DeLorean. Getting settled on that left side. 3.6 now. We are capped out at 4 miles per hour. The racers are neck and neck. The DeLorean unfortunately starting to sacrifice that position there. They are bopping and swerving and struggling to find a steady foothold in this bout. The Honda Civic starting to go backwards though. Will the DeLorean get it? The DeLorean wins bout 30 by a hair. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that was bout 30. That was the tightest race we have had all night. Both drivers struggling to maintain that positioning. That was incredible. We have 5 more bouts on the list until we end our stream and raid out. Because my voice is starting to hurt. Again, going to start that BMW kind of in that back line, just getting him settled up there before we fill the front of him out. Now, we have had pretty consistent turnout with these racers, but it is time, that's right, it is time to get some new blood on the scene. to compete with all these racers, to give them a run for their money. Gotta be very gentle with this stuff. As soon as you like bop it even a little bit, like it can shift stuff even the tiniest bit and mess up the track. So all racers are present currently. We will be having the BMW again at the back. I'm going to replace him behind the Silva and the Honda Civic. The Aston Martin will be getting the far right position, followed by the red RS2000 and the Nissan Leaf behind the green RS2000 and the Quattro. Without further delay, let's get into bout 31. Just kidding. We need to find our new vehicle to bring onto the scene. So for our final newcomer, we will be having another Aston Martin Vintage, believe it or not, Vantage. This is the Hot Wheels edition of the Aston Martin Vantage. At some point, I would like to have a little PvP battle between this Aston Martin and the Pink Slips Aston Martin. Now we have a chance. Anybody that's hanging out with me this evening, which by the way, thank you for hanging out with me this evening. We will be having a final bout in 4 bouts. And this will be the final voting period for the newcomers on this track. This will be the final newcomer of the evening. You have the Aston Martin, the Fiat 500, and the Lotus Spirit S1. Let's get some votes in here. 40 seconds on the clock. If you're just now tuning in and you're confused why I'm holding cars in front of the camera, we are holding a vote on the next vehicle coming in. We have the green, the white, and the gray car. That's going to be the Vantage, the Lotus, and the Fiat 500. So we have about 15 more seconds for any votes to come in. I will be more than likely putting in the Aston Martin Vantage, and I feel like most people would prefer that too. And the polls are closed. We will be unboxing the Aston Martin Vantage. Let me go ahead and get the the green Mustang back to the loser box. Let's go ahead and crack this boy open, shall we? So we've got a very nice glossy finish, a very nice kind of matte highlight with some red outlines for that engine. Very nice flat base that kind of sticks out a little bit from this vehicle. I'm curious to see how that affects it when it is fighting side by side with other Hot Wheels for positions. You can kind of see that that black flat flap sticking out from this guy. Very nice undercarriage too, nice and flat. And of course, you gotta have the spoiler. You gotta have the spoiler. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for bout 31. Almost said 32. Let's get into it. A huge burnout there from the Honda Civic, pinning a whole bunch of drivers out. We still have quite a few in here, but it's dangerous. We have 7 drivers on that left side with 6 of them all clustered together. That could be a dangerous position to be in. The Quattro and the Ford GT being sandwiched between the DeLorean and the S2000. Both of the red Fords, a massive spin out there. The Quattro surviving, the Nissan Leaf, the Vantage are out, the Ford GT and the RS2000 struggling, and they are out of here. 2.5 miles per hour. We have the BMW holding his own, hanging out in his lane, hydrated, straight vibing. The red RS2000 and Ford Mustang, followed by the Audi Quattro. Quite the race here. the BMW holding his own pretty well at 2.5 miles per hour. This is usually when it starts to struggle. The Ford Mustang creating some space with the red RS 2000 in the front. It's up to 3 miles per hour. We're seeing a lot more instability from that Ford Mustang in the RS 2000. The BMW shaking off the rope a bit. Trying to hold on there. The Ford Mustang being pit by the Quattro, hanging on for dear life. They both go down. We are down to the red RS 2000 and the BMW. Let's put the pressure on them. Let's go to 3.4. The BMW doing an amazing job at these speeds. It usually crashes out by now. Holding on for dear life, hoping the RS 2000 makes a mistake here, because the BMW, as we know, has not been able to hold its own tonight. We're going to up our speed to 3.7. BMW still holding on for dear life. This is probably one of its best performances of the night. Not willing to sacrifice any performance. It's leaving everything on the track to try to keep up with that RS 2000, but it is inching closer and closer to death and that danger zone, and it is out the winner of bout 2031. The winner of bout 31 is the red RS 2000. Congratulations, red RS 2000. Now for our special event that we discussed earlier, we will be having the two Aston Martins duking it out one-on-one on this track, if I can find them. And that's a very big if. There are so many fucking Hot Wheels right now. Okay, our Vantage is under there. Oh my god, I'm so bad at getting stuff. There we go. And the pink slips. So once and for all, we're going to see which is the better treadmill racer, the Vantage or the pink slips Vantage. Let's find out. We're going to start them nice and slow. Taking it up to 1.1 miles per hour here. Gonna go to 1.8. Nice little back and forth here between the two Vantages. Hard to tell if our green Vantage wants to be pinned against the wall there, but the blue pink slips for sure wants to be along that left side. 2.3 miles per hour. Some real wheel lockage going on here. They do not want to sacrifice. The pink slips absolutely pinned up against the wall there, stuck in a pit with the Hot Wheels Aston Martin. Crash the fuck out. Do it. Do it. Oh, and we need to do a technical stoppage here. We have the guardrail getting stuck up under the track. We will have to stop that bout. We will give them another shot, but we are going to jump straight to 2.1 miles per hour. I have them on the wrong side here. Okay. As we have to be careful with things getting stuck under the treadmill. We don't want to damage it. So it does look like both drivers do prefer the left side, although I could be wrong here. The green one does want to play on that right flank now. We're going to 2.8. Green Aston Martin struggling to maintain the pace. Still holding on for dear life though. We're going to 3.2. Going to keep holding his own there. The pink slip Aston Martin, very much so, getting pushed back here. Put more pressure here at 3.5 miles per hour. The pink slips Aston Martin. This is actually crazy. It is so neck and neck. And the Hot Wheels Aston Martin takes the victory. Congratulations, Phillips, Jacob. That was such a close race. They were going at it so hard, we had to do a technical stoppage. We had to stop the track from getting damaged there. An amazing bout between these two brands of Aston Martin. Very happy that we could get the pink slips Aston Martin back into the rotation and out of that loser box. So let's get set up for bout 32. Also, if you're just now joining me and you fear that you've missed out on the race, as we only have 3 more races left, I've only got about 3 more left in me. Don't fret. Don't fret. This VOD will be saved over on YouTube at Forsaken Fritos, and so you will have access to it 365, 24 hours a day. And you can bear witness. And honestly, it'd be really funny if someone watched the VOD and figured out like all the win rates. It definitely seems like the Red RS 2000 has been tonight's big champion. There is Hot Wheels Viscera everywhere. There is so much packaging that's been destroyed. Yeah! I know, what a close race though. My goodness. All right. Again, our 69 Ford Mustang Boss GT loves pushing that right side. I like switching it up, so we're going to make him push that left, and the BMW is going to want to push that right. So without further delay, let's do bout 32. Let's get it. Oh wait, no, would this be 33? I think this is 33. Nice slow start here, giving all the drivers a chance to get settled. A huge crash out there. That was insane. All we're left with is the Silvia. Very happy to see the Silvia still at play here. We've had quite a few crash outs. The Silvia has not gotten to play as much as it should. The Quattro, again, staying in their lane, just hanging out, being a little guy. We are going to bump up the heat to 2 miles per hour. We are burning some plastic today, baby. And boy, does it not smell good. I'm joking, there's no odor. Putting the heat up, 2.6 miles per hour. The Silvia, we got a massive crash out here. Can the Quattro keep it on the track? We may need a technical stoppage here. The yarn is getting very close to the tread. We're going to go ahead and do a technical stoppage to avoid potentially damaging our track. And we'll get all these very, very competent drivers back into this race. Take that narwhal and flip it for me. Why does it keep censoring it? I need to look at it on Twitch. I'm sorry. The Twitch has like been absolutely bananas tonight. Or is that a user preference? Maybe that's a user preference thing. Because it doesn't say it's censored for me. Take that narwhal and flip it for you. Okay. I got you, homie. There you go. Commentator Teddy, of course, longtime friend and confidant. How do you feel about the future of not just this sport, but about 34 and 35? As we know, winner takes all. 35 is going to be the champion bout of the evening. There will be no more bouts after 35. We will see who the biggest Hot Wheel racer is tonight on Tuesday 2025 Hot Wheel Racing, which will probably become a regular thing. Absolute pain in the ass to set up, but 110% worth it. We're going to go ahead and give the BMW a nice frontal position here, right next to the Ford GT and the Silva, and the Ford Mustang will be holding a back position for the remainder of the race, and we will be getting our last 3 drivers onto the track now. The Honda Civic definitely preferring the right side, so we're going to put him some pressure on him, and the Koenigsegg also preferring that left side. Let's get in to bout 34. Also, bless you, Stinky. I have lost my remote. It's on my desk. Okay, hold on. Thank you for dropping some shout outs for our boy Philip Jacobs Live. If you do not follow him over on Twitch, give this man a follow. He deserves it. Huh? The music's too loud? Okay. Oh, we can't really hear me. Heard. Okay. Quick technical stoppage. Did not realize how loud music was. I do apologize for that, ladies and germs. Yeah. 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 Oh no. Oh, that sucks. I didn't know! No one told me! I asked several times. There's no copyrighted music. No, it's Suno. It's Suno. Yeah! I didn't even tell it to rip them off specifically, but regardless, we're gonna get set up. We had a quick stoppage there to make some audio adjustments. I do apologize for the volume control. Philip Jacobs. It's Philip Jacobs. We're actually going to have 5 cars. Hello, it's a foot. Welcome guest star Tori to bout 34, our last 2 bouts for the evening. How do you feel about what we're doing here today? Hell yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into bout 34. Now, we're going to start it off nice and slow at 0.8 miles per hour. Nice, steady driving here. Very stable. Potential pit incoming, though, from the DeLorean or the Aston Martin. I'm a little worried about that. Let's jump it up to 1.2. A massive pit on the Lotus to the Koenigsegg Gemera. Koenigsegg did not stand a chance there. The Honda Civic trying to take a position there, but the BMW not having any of it. We're going to up the speed to 1.6 miles per hour. And a huge pit. Cars all over the track here. Several of them trying to maintain speed. Oh my goodness, that was an absolute bloodbath. The Ford GT and a Ford Mustang, brutal spin out. The Ford Mustang almost recovering, but then the GT just taking it out immediately. We have the RS2000 and the Vantage both holding their position there. The RS2000 is unfortunately flipped. Finally getting our Nissan Leaf a chance to compete. The EV vehicle has had a very hard time tonight with its positioning. We're going to put the pressure on, though, at 2.2 miles per hour. The Leaf struggling to find its position. The RS2000 and the Vantage both kind of fighting there. The Leaf, massive spin out. The DeLorean with a huge spin out. Tried to do the recovery on the reversal, but was not happening. The Quattro stuck on the freaking starter line again. And a well-deserved spin out from the Quattro. Sub with a recovery. Up, we get stuck again on the front line. That's a call for a technical stoppage right there. That was definitely some human interference there. The Quattro has some problems with the lip of the vehicle getting stuck on the starter line. Once we get some or wait, no, it's the green RS2000 that I'm looking for. Okay. As we were saying, the Quattro does have a little lip on the front of it, which does result in it getting stuck sometimes. I was willing to give it a pass due to it not obviously our driver, just sometimes it happens to these guys, but its redemption was recovery there. But then we had some more driver interference that resulted in a much needed intervention. So let's go ahead and resume bout 34. Gonna immediately put the heat on them though at 2.2 miles per hour. Aston Martin struggling to maintain that pace. He just cannot maintain pace with the rest of the cars. The Quattro with a huge spin out. The Silvia getting pitted hard by the RS2000, and the RS2000 goes down with a fat W for the Nissan Silvia. For our last bout of the evening, this is bout 35. This is for all the monies. We will be getting set up for our last one tonight. I think that's part of why I kind of like having the Quattro starting in a second place position, because of how badly it is about getting hooked on that front line. But I also feel like having it against it, because sometimes it just drives forward so fast that it gets hooked, and it's not intentional, clearly. So let's get our guys race ready here. All drivers to the starting line. This has been such a fun race day, and also an interesting stress test in Hot Wheels, because those wheels, man, are taking a beating. So we're going to keep it kind of clear up here on that starting line. We're not going to have everyone quite so flushed together. We're going to have our Aston Martin starting in the front line ahead of, who should we start him ahead of? The Silvia, as he has been having a hard time maintaining that pace with everyone. And we will add the red RS2000 at the rear. And let's get our Elise and our Ford GT. I can't help but feel like we're missing a driver. So let me take a quick peek around here, see if we can't find him. Yep, there he is. We were missing our favorite driver, our wild card of the evening, the orange BMW. Without further delay, the final bout of tonight. Thank you so much again, everybody, for tuning in. A Bronx Tale. I know, the reverse action, dude. The recoveries, when they throw it in reverse, are just chef's kiss. All right. Let's finish it out strong, ladies and germs. About 35. Gonna start it at 1 mile per hour. Slow and steady wins the race. The Ford GT pushing for that right side, but he is in the danger zone to execute a pit on that RS2000, and that would take both of them out. The Lotus trying to find a footing here, going for a nice little position behind the Leaf. And a massive car pile up. Oh my goodness. We're going to bump it up to 2 miles an hour. We are left with the Lotus, Mustang, Koenigsegg, green RS2000, and the Ford GT. Huge spin out for the Lotus. That is a shame, as there were only 5 positions left to survive here. There are now 4. What are we thinking? Who's going to win this? Let's go 2.5 miles per hour. A massive spin out from the Mustang with a last second recovery. That was beautiful. Unwilling to quit, but the RS2000 is having trouble. Our green car is slowly pushing back there, pushing to 3 miles an hour. Our yellow Koenigsegg holding that position beautifully. A little bit of fishtailing. The Ford GT also staying in a lovely spot up there. Make sure he is not actually against. Okay, he's good. We're going to 3.4. Real pressure here, ladies and germs. The Koenigsegg struggling to find that right pacing. The RS2000 almost going bumper to bumper with the Ford Mustang. The red Ford Mustang there at the rear. These drivers are so steady, such steady hands. We are max speed. We are 4 miles per hour. The Koenigsegg pushing hard right, falling behind, unable to maintain that pace. That right guardrail there really struggling. The Koenigsegg unable to find a proper position. Executes a pit on the RS2000. There it goes, ladies and gentlemen. The rightful winner of the full bout of Tuesday 2025 Hot Wheel Racing on Forsaken Fritos is the Ford GT. We've been saying it all night. You cannot mess with perfection. This bad boy owns the land speed record of 310 miles per hour. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. That was very, very fun. We're going to go ahead and raid out here to somebody else on Twitch. Oh no, the ads! Welcome back from the ads, Philip. If you did not get a chance to see, the blue Ford GT did win the 35th bout and the final bout of Hot Wheels racing tonight. It was a very fun, successful stream. That was a really good time, everybody. So glad we could get this set up properly. There's definitely a lot of improvements we can make on the track. Thank you for coming on the show, Reese's Pieces Teddy Bear, and for Blue Narwhal hanging out in the crowd today. We're going to go ahead and raid on out here to one of our good friends. Let's go ahead and go see who is live that we can raid, shall we? That's when the ads kicked in. Oh, perfect. Good stuff. I know. That was so fun. All right. Let's see who is live today. I apologize for the audio to any future VOD watchers and any current stream watchers. We're going to go ahead and raid out to our boy Ark Zombie, who is playing Project Bomboid. Have not rated him in a fortnight. Fortnite! He has been live for 2 hours and 36 minutes. Hopefully he is not done with his stream. Alrighty. Thank you so much for everybody popping in. Thank you so much for Phillips, Jacob, everybody coming to hang out with me. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you later, future VOD watchers. I'll see you later, YouTube. You all have a good night.